It says we're live.
All right. Yeah, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
Something about the YouTube format I kind of like as a consumer,
Oh
like
yeah.
as a guy who watches stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because it's less foreign to me.
Maybe. I've never. The only stream I've ever watched on YouTube was that part of that DSP playing Fallout the other day. It's the only time I ever watched a stream on YouTube. It's nice because it's just like a YouTube video, but it's a stream.
Plus, I've got that. What's it called? YouTube
Red.
dark skin, dark toggle the dark skin. I don't
Oh,
remember what it's called.
oh, the dark skin. That's like I have mine that way. It's just like this plugin that you can get for Chrome or whatever, and then you enable it, and it turns all the white like a dark gray.
Yeah, kind of inverts it almost.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
I
can't
guess
remember the
so.
way it used
Yeah,
to look,
I guess it
but
would
the
be.
words are white.
Yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, I like that. I like that I can watch a stream with that on as
yeah.
opposed to
It
Twitch or whatever.
doesn't kill your eyes. I know sometimes you have that white on and you're watching. Like if we watch a 45-minute DSP episode, if you have the white on, it's like, oh man, so bright.
Yeah, like I got to turn all the rooms on, lights on in my room to
Yeah,
not blow my eyes out.
yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, let's see. Let me organize some of this stuff right here.
How's the morning pit going?
I've only done the one because that was last week and it was okay. I did that with Ash, and it's fun. It's good.
I remember I was super sick. I was like sleeping in.
Oh yeah, what'd you have?
I don't know, it was like I guess like a fever or something. It was actually, as far as the sickness is probably as good as it gets, you know?
Yeah.
It's just achy, kind of a stuffy-ish nose sometimes.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know, man.
They use that right?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, actually, that's pretty much perfect.
There
It's
we
like
go.
Hurricane Katrina hits or something. And you go,
Why are you
well,
doing
why are
that?
they all doing it? Why would they all do that? Ridiculous. They had it coming, because
Yeah.
they did it.
Hey Ash, how's the quality? Everything.
Yeah, of our content.
How's our content?
How riveting is our? I won't even bother finishing this.
I'm more
It
after
could be
what the connections
even
like, because for whatever reason, when I stream on this channel, it always tells me it's a bad stream health, and it never seems to
really?
actually be. It just is. It just says it. So, is it skipping or anything, Ash, or is it? Because yeah, on the best 5 channel, it's fine, but on this one, it just goes immediately to red, and I don't know why.
What's that? Hard to say. Zenitram.
Xanatram, yeah,
Long time, or
yeah.
I don't know the name.
He's been around a while. I don't know if we've ever talked to him, but I remember his name in chat. He used to comment a lot. Ash.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's Ash?
Oh, it says sounds Christ. Oh, I had to scroll down to see it. All right. Thanks, Ash.
Maybe it's a capital I. Christy.
Maybe it sounds Christy.
Yeah. Ooh, it's good though, I guess.
Ooh, sounds Christy, Max.
Ooh, Christy.
Ooh, no, it sounds Christy, Max. Well, fantastic. Thank you, hot boy. Oh, more people than I expected immediately. 6 on the weird channel.
Yeah.
First, not even 5 minutes yet. All right, that's good views, guys.
Keep it up. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Buy soap.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite is that.
Yeah, I like how he tries to sell it. He tries to sell it by saying, "I don't even get soap at the store anymore."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, we
dude,
did.
look at you, man. You're not the best poster boy for soap.
You know, like yeah, like you look at his unwashed head,
Yeah.
his hair just like sticking up.
Yeah, and
from
then
the
he says,
grease.
"I don't get soap at the store anymore." And you're like, "Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit."
yeah. I'd love to see a face cam when he's like, "I don't even buy soap anymore. My favorite is morning dew." And then he runs his hand through his hair and it kind of gets stuck and he just leaves it there for the rest of the stream. His
Yeah,
hands just
yeah.
entangled in it.
Yeah, just his limp wrist dangling from his hair.
And he can't get it out and just like he just kind of like, yeah, I want it there. You know, he just leaves it. No, his favorite was like, what was it? I can't remember. It was like Fresh. I don't know. But I remember what I thought was funny is when he talked about why it was good. It was because it was like, and he compared it to some store brand that was like,
Oh wow.
like you could just go buy, at Walmart for nothing.
Yeah.
Then he did this kind of save though, where he was like, "But this is healthy. This is,
Oh sure. This is
doesn't
all
have any of the
natural.
chemicals."
It's all glycerin based.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is. Sounds like I have no idea what glycerin is, but
I
to
don't
me
know.
it's
I'm
just
not a soap
another
engineer.
chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Soap does something that gets all that shit out of there. I won't question it. You know what's a good soap? My grandma had a shit ton of it in the garage. So did my dad. Is a soap called Lava Soap.
Oh, interesting.
Mm,
Never heard of it.
it's a good soap, and they like kept it in the
Burns
garage.
the shit off.
It's like
Burns the
super.
shit off.
Yeah, it's like super duty. It's kind of porous and gravelly, and it just
Oh, I've used stuff like that.
and it's meant to get like the grease out.
Right, like mechanics use it. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, your hands are like baby hands after that.
yeah, yeah. Hey, what? Ash, Jesus. Lava
Says
soap.
Lava soap. I read love soap. Like all the enthusiasm. Love it.
Love it. Oh, is that a Navajo use a porved soap?
Oh, nice.
A porved. All right. Well, good to know, Ash.
How does she make the soup? Does she brew it in a cauldron? I mean, a soap.
Probably a lot like soup. I don't know. I think you can get like.
Did she just buy it and then sell it, or what?
No, you could get like all of the. I mean, soap is no new thing. Soap's been around a long time. So if they can make it before the industrial age, she can make it in her bathroom. I'm sure. She probably makes other things too, IEDs and biochem warfare shit. But it's the soap that she sells.
She does make something else actually. She makes the. I actually don't know what it is. I think it's some kind of incense.
Oh, is it the wax tart candle thing bullshit?
Yeah, tart.
Yeah,
What is it?
The tart. They're like the little
Tart.
discs. It's literally a tart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
cool.
think you light them like a candle or something.
Man, he must be living like a fucking king, dude.
Yeah, I feel
Like the king of hate, I guess.
I because of that, I don't want to feel sorry for him, but I kind of do sometimes. When you see
Why?
him, I don't
Oh,
know.
about what?
Like, okay, so I'll be watching a video where he, I don't know. Okay, so when he got verified on Twitter, he did that 26-minute rant, and I watched that, and I kind of, the more and more I watch these things, I kind of realize, man, I think he's talking to us like this because he doesn't have actual people to talk to about this stuff, and he's been bothered for so long by so much of this weird bullshit from his detractors and whatever. I don't know. It's depressing. You can't talk to real
It's
people.
like- Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about his problems like like okay, paying rent is a problem for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not until it's overcome. But some people they always battle with it, like I always have. But his rent is a mortgage on a giant house in a gated community.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, they're gonna struggle to pay it. At least it's something nice. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And I remember his problem. His like besides that, like the extra problems, like Remember the time he put the garbage out and they didn't pick it up,
Yeah.
and he that rant. That was
Yeah, it's a
really,
long time ago. Wow.
I really enjoyed that one. I just remember it was like, I don't know the way it escalated, and it was just nothing, and it was really kind of, I don't know, funny.
Yeah.
Talking about the maggots and stuff, and anyway. That's what I kind of think of as like a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, his problems, which is not bad, just more like comic relief, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
his problems aren't even, they're not even bad enough to be dark comedy.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, I mentioned it. I mentioned him living like a king just because, like the products that Leanna makes
Mm-hmm.
are actually seem like that. Like that'd be cool. Like, okay, you got a nice house, and you go in and it smells like pumpkin spice because it's October.
Right. Right.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. You know, it's too bad there's nobody you can share it with. No friends to come over.
But
and-
her, I guess.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
Then again, he doesn't come home, does he?
Yeah, he
Right?
He got to leave
He's
to come
always
home.
Yeah, right.
He probably doesn't even smell it because it's just part of his.
Yeah.
He's just deaf to
Oh,
it.
he likes when someone opens a window, he smells like something else out there. Ah,
What's that smell?
it's dog shit. Yeah. Ooh,
That's not.
it's fresh out there. Like he doesn't even know the difference between fresh and like stale anymore.
No, that's a smell.
That's a smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
What's going on? What's going on with my body? Why is it reacting?
Oh Jesus.
Ew,
You know. Okay.
camera's on.
Yeah. Ooh, camera's on, huh? Another thing.
Rocks back and forth.
Ooh, hello. Other thing that kind of bothers me is I tuned in very briefly. I used to listen to him a little more when I was at work, but I since stopped. Was that the podcast that's just dedicated to Phil updates? The Sons of Kojima guys,
Oh yeah.
and you know, for what it was good for is getting my Phil updates because they were talking about stuff that was on the forums and on the Twitter and all that stuff that I just is beyond what I know about him, you know. So it's like, oh wow, he does this stuff on his forums and Twitter. That's pretty amazing. But then they would get over talking about what actually happened, and then they would just start. And there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they'd just start shitting on him. And you know, it's, Phil is easy to shit on, as we just did, but it was like overly so. It was like really.
We were, to be honest, right now we weren't shitting on him. We were shitting on this hypothetical him.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we took sort of distill his essence and then emphasize it all out of proportion.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. But I just remember.
And also,
uh,
well, what kind of shit were they slinging?
oh,
just curious.
Just like the harshest shit. It's been so long since I've listened. But it was like, you know, they were talking about is the typical stuff that you talk about when you hate somebody, like his dick being little and him being unshaven and unclean and all this stuff, which I guess we just kind of talked about. But it was like overly so. It was like, come on, guys, it's DSP. What's he gonna do?
Interesting.
Just leave him be, man. It's like a little rabbit in a cage, you know. It really came off as bullyish, and I know that DSP probably didn't give 2 shits about them. Well, that's not true. I'm sure he knows most of what they say, but it really just sounded bullyish to me. Like, lay off, you know. It's fun to poke some fun, but too much. I think there's too much. You know, I think after years of that, and him probably knowing about it, I don't know if I'm sure he has somebody listen for him, and report to the forums or whatever. But it's got to be like, oh man, it's got to be disheartening.
I think it's got to be done in the right way, and what the right way is the funny way, and that's hard to say what that is. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But if anything at all is considered off limits, then there's no such thing as a funny way, and I don't think that's the right approach.
yeah.
An example to me would be like, okay, you got to make something concrete out of it. Like, okay, you take these like abstract concepts, right?
Hmm.
Like, like being a hermit, like the fact he never goes outside or something.
Okay, yeah.
And then just to call him a name, he's a loser, this and that. It's like, oh, okay, that's not funny.
Yeah.
But if you take the idea of a guy who never leaves his house and has the hair and stuff like he does when he's on webcam,
Right.
and then what you do is you take that and you create concretes out of that abstraction.
Right.
You know, like details that are so absurd that you're laughing at the absurdity, which you clearly invented.
Right.
And it's not invented just from nothing, because there'd be no reference. You would know what the joke is about. What are you talking about? Like, where's this coming from?
Sure.
So he kind of works as like a seed, you know, to like grow.
Oh yeah. And this, I guess, the problem I had with their stuff was it just seemed mean, and it wasn't really kind of based in that reality. Like they would just go over the top.
Why do you think they dislike him?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they dislike. I think a few of them there do, but I think probably most of them there feel about the same as we do, because they're paying attention to him in a very similar
so they
way
have
that
to
we
like
are.
him to some extent.
Yeah, I think they get
I mean, because if you didn't
entertained.
like him at all,
Oh yeah, why even bother?
you would
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like, oh, like you wouldn't want to. If some of you truly don't like it, you don't want to hear about it. You'd rather not know it existed.
Yeah, I think they get entertained from him, or at least some of them do. And then the other ones, it seemed okay. The setup that I noticed that they kind of had was they have this. I forget all their names, but the one dude that kind of led the thing, kind of seemed like the ringleader, and all the others were the minions that kind of just sucked his dick.
Yeah.
and the ringleader actually seemed like he had a decently level head, but when he would say something kind of negative about him, they would just kind of go and go and go and go until it sounded mean, because they were just building off of what the main dude said was a bad thing about Phil, or a poor thing about Phil.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the mob mentality thing. And you get 6 or 7 of them, sometimes more, and it's like, God damn, guys, it's mean.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a big white pussy, so maybe it wasn't that
Right.
bad after all. So, it's interesting. God bless Phil. He's forever entertaining. He's gonna.
Yeah, he's really good.
Hey, Mr. Gamer Expert, and he's gonna be on YouTube for a long, long time, because he is not getting off of YouTube with how to fight.
I wonder. I'm surprised he hasn't said that. You know, a lot of the people I watch have been really punished for their content. Like a couple of them have been banned or suspended from various social media, and
For covering Phil.
no,
Oh, just people that you like.
for being quote unquote controversial, you know,
Uh-huh.
which is very, 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 very easy to do. Basically, anyone at all just has to say they didn't like the video.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually like, imagine if you had a like button and a dislike button, right? That's what you got.
Right.
Imagine if you switched the dislike button for a flag, like
Yeah.
flag this, report this as being hate speech or something. Like, and if it only took one or something, or two, or whatever. I mean, I couldn't think of somebody more like flagged. I don't want to say flaggable, because I don't buy into that whole thing, but I mean, flag it if it's copyright or something.
Sure.
But which happens to me all the time, actually, stuff I post sometimes. But
Oh,
what I'm getting at is like,
you just
like
throw a cat across the room. What the hell was that?
Just swearing will get your shit like demonetized, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's. Yeah, I don't know how he hasn't at least complained yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of the guys I watch has had like 4 channels because it keeps getting, what do you call it? I don't know. Basically, he keeps getting them taken away or shut down in some way, shape, or form. So he makes a new one and calls it number 2, and then number 3, and number 4. And then because people hate him so much, they created a 5th one, so he couldn't go to it.
Oh my god.
And on the 5th one, they mischaracterize him basically in the most like egregious ways.
Yeah.
Like to try to make him look bad, but it's not his, and there's nothing of him on there. Anyway, so then he went back to the first one. Anyway, there's a lot of this, a lot of like people trying to. Anyway, my point is, I'm just surprised it hasn't happened to DSP yet.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want it to. I don't want it to happen to anybody.
No.
There's people I don't like a lot on YouTube, and I would want it to happen to them.
Well, at least with DSP, we know if it does, it has happened to DSP before. Like he got kicked off of YouTube, and then he got kicked off of Blip, and then he left Twitch. So now he's back on YouTube. So it has happened.
Why did he leave Twitch?
He left Twitch because they told him to lower his bit rate because he was hogging their servers because he's running everything at super high resolution, and they're like, dude, you're hogging the bandwidth. You need to tone it down. You need to cut your bit rate or lower your resolution to 720 or something, or 30 frames or something like that. And he said no, and he left Twitch. And he said, "Fuck you, Twitch, for not knowing how to run your company." And then he came to YouTube.
Oh, that's amazing. I actually really love that, man. That's funny. That's like, I don't know. It's like the president calls up and says, like, you're building on too much land or something. Like,
yeah.
What is the deal? That Twitch contacts them and tells them to tone down the use of their service.
Right.
We have a medium for people to stream video, and then you call them up and tell you streaming too much video, man. You gotta like what?
Well, how
about you buy more shit, a server or whatever you gotta? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it takes, but I'm fucking streaming, man. Are you gonna kick me off for streaming on your fucking stream site?
I think the best part is how he's like, Twitch isn't an option anymore when it can be. Like, there's nothing keeping him from going back except that he just won't.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to go back to Twitch. And he complains all the time about YouTube not having a moderated chat. He's like, there's no way to moderate chat on YouTube, so we have to have this weird third-party chat, like, that's just a chat. And he said, I hate it, but I can't go back to Twitch where there's a proper chat. Like, dude, you can. There's no reason not to. It's just
why did he leave YouTube in the first place?
The reason he left YouTube in the first place, I don't think they streamed at the time. So he was streaming on Blip. And then Blip, of course, he did the Jew, playing Dead Space, stomping out the Jew aliens as... Yeah. And then Blip was like, dude, you can't say you're a Nazi stomping out Jews. And he said, oh, fuck. And then they kicked him out.
You know what's funny, man? Like, in a way, he's like, I love that, man. I love it. I love him. That's fantastic, dude.
Like this, the story he weaves over these fucking websites is amazing.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, okay, it's almost like, okay, if you took a character from a book, right? Mm-hmm. And he was a total badass, and people tried to stop him, and he just walked from any deal that people were like, and he fucking did what he wanted to do, and he made it work, and in the end, he's fucking triumphant, you know? Yeah. Like, that's a hero from a book. And then you take DSP, right? And it's DSP, so it's got all this weird, like, everything. right? You know, all this weird voice stuff he does, and the mic, and the rocking, and the hair, and the fucking 40-minute opening sequences before he streams, and selling soap, and
All the weird shit that nobody else can ever
let's listen. You know, let's listen to fucking him chew a butter burger.
do. Oh, Jesus.
It's like, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, my point is, like, you get this guy,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, I'm a Himmler, yeah, or whatever, and he's like doing the Jew thing. And then someone says, man, you can't do that. Like, fuck you, I can do what I want. You know what I mean? Like, what I like is, I like that. But it's just funny that, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I'm just that much in favor of a person doing what they are aligned to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely love that more than anything. How he managed to do that for so long.
Oh, long time now.
And through whatever obstacle, you know,
Yeah,
like,
so many obstacles.
and at his age, he never got tired, never got worn down.
Getting so old.
Maybe it's, you know, because of the success he's had, which is, you know, I mean, it's small compared to some, but it's huge in its own way. It enables him to
Oh, yeah.
live the way he wants. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
like,
he's-
it's just
I
enough
don't-
to let him live the way he wants.
Yeah, is there anything he's like, oh, I really want this and that, but, you know, I just don't think I'll ever make it.
No, I think
That-
that's it. I think he's got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So, you know, it's
It does
I really admire that.
It does seem like it slaves on him a bit, though. And recently, because you know, I mean, it's not like he can complain. I guess he can complain, but it's not like he should, because look what he's doing. But also look what he's doing. It's like, oh man, he's got to play the new release to get money. He's got to do this to get money. He's got to do this or that to get money. And in its own way, it is kind of a grind, and it must be shitty sometimes. Especially like you know,
8
this
hours a day.
I don't know how many hours a day, it depends. But, you know, look at July when there was nothing coming out. Like, his whole income depends on if there's a new game or not, usually. Like, his service, his business, depends on somebody else's agenda, you know? Like a whole other industry's agenda. And it must suck sometimes to be sort of like, well, there's nothing this month. I gotta just wait. It just must really suck sometimes. Or you know, on the other hand, it's like, oh well, there's a lot this month, and I've got to play it all. That must suck too. So.
One thing he did when I was watching his stream today, he said, well, he had like a vote on, you know, like a poll on what game he'd play next.
Yeah.
And what came in third place was a game he's already played twice. So there's that.
He'll probably do that.
But then, but the one that came in first was actually, I think, some kind of racing game. And what he was saying was like, you know, sometimes you do a game too much, you get burnt, you know.
Well, yeah. No shit.
Yeah, and then so he was like, he said what he did is he intentionally didn't play any racing games all year.
Okay.
Any kind of racing game or any kind of sports game. He said, you know, I used to like playing, and he mentioned some of those games that you loved.
Oh yeah, the baseball and the basketball and all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And
so good.
He's like, he's talking about how much he enjoyed them and all that, which, you know, is debatable when you watch the video, but he talked about how much he dug them, and how he consciously wanted to stay away from him so that he could do it next year, which apparently is maybe going to happen, you know, next month, but
We'll see.
basically close to a year.
We'll see.
So that when he brings it open again, it's something different and something new.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
which kind of goes to what you're saying as far as
Yeah, maybe he's just figuring out ways to cope with that. I think the best way he can cope with that is to get out. and do things and meet another person besides Leanna. Just somebody. But
Yeah.
can't put that on Patreon. So he is what he is. As long as he's around to entertain us, he really is the best reality show that's ever existed.
Yeah.
This
Probably
is
the realest reality.
Oh
show.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So, anyway, what else is going on? Been sick?
Yeah. There's one thing before we change subject
Okay.
that occurred to me earlier, which was this: like, it'd be really cool if there was a Patreon
Mm-hmm.
that exclusively dealt with amounts of change that was so small that it would be insignificant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then we could hustle for it. We could make like a big fucking deal about it, and people could pitch in because it's essentially nothing. Like, wouldn't it be like, imagine it was fractions of a cent, and we had a goal
Now,
that was like 0.8 cent. Not a whole
oh my
cent even,
God,
you know?
dude, Jesus! It's
Not
like
even a whole
Steam
cent.
cents, Jesus! It's like Steam credits. It's so low and meaningless.
And you put a ceiling on how much a person can put in.
You gotta break a
So
penny
you don't
to
meet the goal.
contribute.
So so it's like it'd be really hard to reach your goal.
Yeah.
And you really have to fucking push hard for it. It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. We'll get that going.
Like if you had like a million, if you had like a million followers or something, like you break $1 every month, you know?
Oh Jesus! Like this month I can go to the vending machine.
Thank you all for your support, you know, helping us do what we do.
Our monthly goal of $1.25 has been met.
Now setting the record for
Yeah, right.
largest such and such donations. People all across the world, even people in Indonesia are pitching in.
And our top pledger this month is from overseas, and they gave us a dime.
Yeah.
This is the largest
No,
we've ever
a dime
received.
is like there's got to be a limit, you know. It's like
Oh yeah, a dime too much, huh?
so they can't just throw in $1, you know. So yeah, it'd have to be from like a whole organization to be a dime, like the such and such foundation from such, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good idea. I don't know why no one does it.
Patreon would probably get hold of you and be like, "You can't do that. You're using up bandwidth."
Yeah. I like the idea. Yeah, it's like that'd be good.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder how low you can set it.
I don't know. You're the only one that I know that knows Patreon.
Well, you know what you can do?
Yeah. What?
You can make it. You could make it $1, and that'd be the maximum.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, that's as close as you can get to nothing. I think.
You can't go below $1.
I don't know.
Huh.
I want to say no, but I don't know.
Well, you're just gonna have to figure that out.
Yep.
All right. What are you?
So anyway,
What are you sick with?
other news.
What do you have? Yeah.
Well, it was basically just like a fever, I guess. I was real super achy.
Did you eat some bad soup?
No,
Where'd you get it?
I think it probably had something to do with school started, and I teach music, you know.
Oh, got it from a
So
little
it's like
rat kid.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they probably stick their hands in roadkill or whatever they do, and then
Roadkill
That's
and Jello
yeah.
and
yeah,
fucking.
other kids' gel hands. They touch other kids'
Play-Doh.
hands.
Just get your hand out of my ass, Mike.
Yeah,
No, Damien. And then they just put their hands all over you. Makes sense.
yeah.
They come in and just play hide and seek, peekaboo with you. Well,
That could be.
yeah.
So yeah, but anyway,
All right.
it's basically over now. I mean, I'm just kind of in the last, yard of the race, just a little way.
Well, here's to it not. What do they call it when it comes back?
Huh?
What do they? Ha! What do they call it? Ha! What do they call it when they hope it won't come back? A relapse. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
Or as Zudi once said in one of his LPs, a prolapse.
A prolapse. Yeah, blowing your anus out. Yeah.
Yeah, one time he said prolapse, and then relapse, and it just he didn't say anything for a minute, and then just change the subject.
That guy in the thumbnail, Mr. Gamer Expert, is John Voight, and that's from Anaconda when he was watching Jennifer Lopez undress, right? Something like that, and he has that. It's like a gross smile slash predator smile frown.
It's how you frown and smile.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely predatory.
You know, it's funny. I know this girl from Indonesia, right?
Uh huh.
And she is like the sweetest, super innocent girl.
Okay.
And she was talking about how she's too scared to watch Lord of the Rings.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And she she said she was talking about how she's, I don't know, it was something about when good guys get hurt, or killed or something. She doesn't like that.
Right.
And she's like, movie Anaconda. And I was like, immediately thought of this face.
Oh, this face, nice.
I was thinking,
yeah, I know it. You do this face. I've seen you kind of almost do this face. It's on your first record, your Kids Today. It's this. Your face is more disappointment, but it still has a bit of a predatory smile in there.
predatory smile. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
In case you guys want to see what that looks like.
Oh yeah. Search and buy Lee Warner, Kids Today, and their loud jazz music.
There you go. Oh, what? YouTube has a rule: message not sent.
Oh, you know what? Hang on. I can send me your YouTube channel link, and I'm gonna make you a moderator so you can send links on the chat.
Oh, really? Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, one sec. I'm gonna fucking moderate.
Oh man.
How am I gonna abuse that power?
Do whatever you want, man. Block Ash, I think, is the first act of power. Just go to your YouTube channel and send me the URL, and I can put it in there and hit accept.
Holy shit, dude! I got 298 videos.
Man, you got more than Best 5 has. We have 289, 87, something like that.
My goal is to have more videos than subscribers.
How many subs you got?
370.
Oh, you're getting there.
Yeah, if I release... Actually, I don't release them often enough. The only reason I say that is because I have a huge backlog. Mostly not edited, though, and that takes time.
Alright, see if you can put in a link now.
Alright.
I think it worked. If not, let me know. Ah, perfect.
Oh, look at that. I got the wrench. Alright.
Got the wrench!
Got the wrench! Alright, so how... Okay, Ash, post something.
Hey, Ash.
I'm gonna try to abuse my power.
Wake up, asshole. No such thing as shameless promotion. Ash, wake up. God, Ash is such a little prick. So if Ash ever wakes up, there's 3 dots next on the right of his chat, and you can click that, and it'll give you a whole bunch of options for him.
I'm gonna refresh the page.
All right, refresh the page.
right, so. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Ash apparently got. Mr. Gamer Expert, have we ever talked to you on Skype before? Have you ever called in? I don't know if you ever went over when we streamed on live stream. I don't know if you ever knew that we even did that. It seems like it's going to be a good year for Halloween Madness this year, Lee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Why is that?
it's shaping up all right. We got a couple fun things planned. So that happens October 1st. So just get hype.
All right. You know what? Still tempted to write that story that I was telling you about.
Write that story.
Yeah, I've kind of got like weird problems, like where
Just weird problems. You don't need to go further.
Involving eggs and milk
Oh, jeez.
in a tube.
You got to have the tube for it to be a weird problem.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Gamer Expert, what are you waiting for? Would that be something that you're interested in? Is calling up and talking to the way and the light?
That's what my laugh sounded like.
Oh, gotta quit dropping that.
What, you or me?
Me. Have you guys done an episode on the Bridgewater Triangle? Spooky shit. Well, what is that, Agent Bill Wilson? Let me look it up real fast. Bridgewater.
G-Man. Men in Black.
Yeah. Bridgewater Triangle. Alright, I got a page open for it. I'll get into that in a second, Agent Bill Wilson. Maybe, but I feel better spectating. Alright. You don't wanna
Speaking of triangle, Bridgewater Triangle, I don't know anything about it yet, but
okay.
the triangle type stuff got me thinking of this Norm Macdonald joke where it was something like where he was talking about that Malaysian flight.
The one that went missing?
Yeah, and how they would. I'm not gonna do the joke, obviously. But I'll get that out of the way.
Okay.
Basically, he's talking about how they found remnants from the oldest plane. It's like circa 300 BC or something.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, wow, okay. Alright, you want to hear about this Bridgewater Triangle? Yeah. Alright, let's change the music here for appropriate tone and atmosphere.
You had music in there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What were you playing a moment ago?
Just some sort of upbeat piano ragtimey.
Oh,
you've heard it before if you've.
Yeah. I don't like that. Jesus Christ. I don't like that ragtimey shit.
You don't like ragtimey shit?
I do, but only if it's like some legit stuff. Like what's that guy's name? Jelly Roll Morton. I like that.
Okay.
Like the real legit, but this is like kind of like, hey, the Ice Cream Man shit. Not so much.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it's fun to play really quietly underneath the conversation, so it's not totally boring. If you ever been offended by any music that you've heard underneath Kendall and myself on the channel before?
The closest is probably that. Not offended, no. Actually, the music. A lot of time, the music you choose is really good, and sometimes stuff I haven't heard, but it's always stuff that I kind of know. Like I usually know the artist.
Well, I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about like when we do a thing and there's music playing under us talking. Yeah. Like when we have an announcement.
Just a ragtime.
It's just probably it's meant for you not to notice, because I think if it were the case where if it were just total silence beneath us, it'd be weird. But there's just something there, just to fill in the empty.
Yeah, it could be good. I like the creepy music.
Oh yeah, I just switched it to creepy music. But for just like normal talk just now, because it was kind of funny and up. I just had some music playing really light to fill in the empty. And the point is, I feel, when you're on a stream, all right, when you're on a stream and you're talking, you know, it's not like I'm Art Bell or anything. You can't make the silence pregnant and meaningful. So when you're on a stream and we're talking with each other and there's an emptiness, there's a silence, it's like, oh man, this is weird. I notice the silence. And my goal is for you guys to not notice the silence.
Oh, okay.
With that music. You know, it's not necessarily music there for you to enjoy. It's just music there to remind you that we're still here. So, anyway. Man, I'm out of breath. I don't think I breathed in that whole time. All right. The Bridgewater Triangle. By the way, now because we're on YouTube, and there's copyright strikes on YouTube, or copywriting on YouTube, we're limited to royalty-free music. So, but good thing is that all the horror music that you've heard us use is royalty-free. So the Bridgewater Triangle refers to an area of about 200 square miles within southeastern Massachusetts in the United States, claiming to be a site of alleged paranormal phenomena, ranging from UFOs to poltergeists to orbs, balls of fire, and other spectral phenomena. Various Bigfoot sightings, giant snakes, and thunderbirds. Specific boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle were first defined by cryptozoologist Loren Coleman. Let's see if that's a dude or a small
Loren?
Loren.
Or a small brain?
Yeah. I don't know. They don't write. Oh, he. Okay, Loren Coleman is a dude.
Oh my god. You see what I mean? Okay. When I heard it was a chick, and I thought, whoa, a chick? You know, you don't get a lot of chicks in the paranormal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would seem to me to kind of help its case, but
That's
then I found it was a dude named Lauren.
It is a dude named Lauren.
That's rough.
It's rough.
That's rough.
All right, so
Hopefully Mr. Game Expert or somebody whose name we don't know is not named Lauren.
I don't care.
Sorry
So-
if your name is Jessica or something.
Mr. Gamer Expert, is your name Jessica or Lauren or some chick name? All right. We know Agent Bill Wilson isn't a chick.
Well, unless that's not his name,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. Specific.
What if it was a dude? What if she was a chick named Bill?
Oh,
If
God.
you got a dude named Lauren, I mean,
I don't know. You know, I don't know the ins and outs of the naming business. I'm not going to dwell on it too hard. You just assume my gender? Fucking triggered!
yeah, yeah, it could be Z or something.
Like chicks watch us. All right.
Yeah, right.
So,
Chicks want to hear two dudes talk about nothing.
DSP. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read about this damn thing. Specific boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle were first defined by cryptozoologist Loren Coleman, who coined the term, by the way, in the 1970s. Then, in his book, I guess if I would have read one more sentence, I would have known.
Right.
Jesus. And then, in his book, Mysterious America, he wrote that the Bridgewater Triangle encompasses the towns of Abington, Rehoboth, and Freetown. That's some Fallout shit. At the points of the triangle, Freetown, Watertown, the Brockton, Whitman, West Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, Bridgewater, Middleborough, Dighton, Berkeley, Raynham, Norton, Easton, Lakeville, Seekonk. Seekonk.
Oh, they're getting better at Seekonk.
Seekonk. And it's Seekonk, Seekonk, like a comic book noise. And Taunton, inside the triangle. Similar claims have been made about an area in neighboring Vermont called the Bennington Triangle. Ooh. Hockomock Swamp. Hockomock. Hockomock, whatever. Central to the area is Hockomock Swamp, which means the place where spirits dwell. Dighton Rock, also found within the boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle, is the Dighton Rock. Freetown, or as I'm going to start calling it, Freeton, The Freeton Water, the Freeton Fall River State Forest. The Freeton Fall River State Forest has reportedly been, Lee?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, wow, that was a weird noise. Has reportedly been the site of various cult activity, including animal sacrifice, ritualistic murders committed by admitted Satanists, as well as a number of gangland murders, gang violence, and a number of suicides. Profile Rock is a supposed site where Wampanoag historical figure, Anawan received the lost wampum belt from Philip. What the fuck am I reading, man? Just funny words. It is said that the ghost of a man can be seen sitting on the rock with his legs crossed or outstretched arms, located within the Freeton Fall River State Forest. Paranormal claims of the area. Common to most of these areas is a mix of reported phenomena that includes reports of UFOs, mysterious animals, and hominids, ghosts, poltergeists, and animal mutilations. Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah. Bullet's the car he drives.
God damn. Bigfoot sightings. There have been several reported sightings of Bigfoot. Of a Bigfoot.
Bullet's his name. I imagine he's got like it shaved into his head, like Nike or something. It says Bullet.
There have been several sightings of a mysterious Bigfoot-like creature in the triangle, usually near Hockomock Swamp. Joseph DeAndrade, that's a cool name, claimed to see a half-man, half-ape creature entering the woods near the swamp in 1978. Local resident John Baker also reported seeing a large hairy beast in a river swamp, in a river in the swamp while canoeing. Thunderbird sightings, giant birds or pterodactyl-like flying creature with wingspans of 8 to 12 feet, are claimed to have been seen near the Hockomock Swamp and neighboring Taunton, including a report by Norton Police Sergeant Thomas Downey. Animal mutilations. Various incidents of animal mutilation have been reported, particularly in Freeton and River Fall, where local police were called to investigate mutilated animals believed to be the work of a cult. 2 specific incidents in 1998 were reported. One in which a single adult cow was found butchered in the woods, the other in which a group of calves were discovered in a clearing, grotesquely mutilated as if part of a ritualistic sacrifice, and Indian curses. According to one tale, the Native Americans had cursed the swamp centuries ago because of the poor treatment they received from the colonial settlers. A revered object of the Wampanoag how do you say that, Ash? Belt known as the Wampum Belt was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal unrest to the fact that this belt was lost from the native people. All right, finished it. Jeez Louise. Hey.
Well, one thing I like is I looked up conch.
Uh-huh.
And on Google it says three. Okay, it says of a machine breakdown, of a person faint or go to sleep, and then the last one is die.
Okay.
It says die period.
Die period.
The town's die.
Is it like a woman yelling at her menstrual cycle? Die.
Yeah.
Die period.
So Seekonk. So that's the name of the town.
Seekonk.
Right?
Like, yeah, S-E-E, like sea, like sight, and then conch, K-O-N-K.
Oh, I thought sea like ocean.
No, not like the ocean, like sea with your eyes.
I was thinking like ocean death.
Yeah, like an ocean shell.
Sea death.
Sea, like ocean and then shell. Yeah, that would have made sense, but what these people have don't make no sense. So what do you think of the Bridgewater Triangle?
Well, let me see if I understand it right here. Basically a zip code for lots of stuff. Is that it?
Yeah, like a little miniature Bermuda Triangle on land.
But instead of things disappearing, it's things appearing, more like.
Paranormal
right?
stuff.
I mean, like seeing things are existing that
Oh,
Yeah, well,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. To me, it kind of sounds like kind of sounds familiar to or similar to what's the place where people claim there's more UFO sightings than anywhere else? Is it Nevada or Mexico or Arizona or?
I think it's probably Nevada. I could be
So that's
wrong.
kind of
Though.
like there's a place where people go and almost I don't remember. Somehow I seem to recall something in Mexico. Anyway, it's just a place that's kind of thought of as a hot spot, basically, right?
Yeah. But this is
But it's for
cursed.
one thing only.
Yeah. I mean, there's the. I don't know. You know, these things. I know what they're getting at. They're getting at because it's a triangle. It breeds a certain type of energy, and thus all these things appear or manifest or materialize or what the fuck ever. You know. So
What is it that creates the triangle exactly?
it's just the coordinates, I guess. Let me see here.
And there's a town on each end, or
Yeah.
a whole bunch of towns in between in the triangle.
It looks like where the Bridgewater Triangle encompasses. I don't know. There's no real definition of it, like beginning at this point, ending at that point. Okay. Right here, the triangle encompasses the towns of Abington, Rehoboth, and Freeton. Those are the points.
Jesus,
of the triangle.
dude, those sound like the creatures in an H.P. Lovecraft novel. Shagaloth, Shibaloth, Ibaloth, Livaloth.
That's probably why this shit's scary. So
Yeah, dude.
those are the 3 points of the triangle, are those places. So, yeah, I was never a big triangle fanatic. I know a lot of people are. I know, yeah, it's the strongest. Whatever. Bermuda Triangle never interested in me too much because it's on the ocean. I didn't grow up in the ocean, so I don't care about it. You know.
I really I enjoy ocean creepus.
Oh, I do too, but but like
Actually,
huh.
all the stuff that like scientifically is like 100% common day knowledge, everyone creeps me out about the ocean. Like it's just so creepy to me in general.
Oh, the ocean's terrifying, man.
Like whales freak me out. The idea of these huge underwater fucking mammoths.
Yeah, these leviathans could be beneath you.
Oh my
you know?
god, dude,
Like,
that's really creepy.
The thing about the ocean to me is you surrender all of your rights the moment you get into it. Like you weren't meant to be in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're as good as you're gonna live as long as the ocean lets you live, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's scary about the ocean to me. Of course, thinking that you're in the water and beneath you is however many fathoms of space between that and the bottom is creepy to me.
I'm always surprised when I find out how deep it's not. And people
Yeah.
go, "Oh, that's a long way," and I'm like, "Well, not really. It's just, I mean, a long way underwater, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not a long way. It's not that deep.
Yeah,
Like, what's the deepest part of the ocean?
that's the Mariana Trench. Let's figure out how deep
is
it is. Let's figure it out.
Crunching the numbers.
Yeah, it is a. Let's see here. I want the depth. I don't want the actual size of the thing. It reaches the maximum known depth of about 11,000 meters, or 6.831 miles.
Wow.
That's a lot,
That's a lot for being underwater, I guess. But you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Like, you get, like, that's not how it feels.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the idea of it is like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I get the vibe that it's deeper than the Earth is wide. You know? Like, it just goes
Yeah. Well, that's
forever.
impossible. You fool.
Yeah.
But imagine this: like you're out on a straight stretch of desert and you drive for 7 miles. That's how long it is deep. That's kind of long.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
long
so
way.
I was actually thinking about like times when I've walked a mile. I mean, not a mile, but many miles, like 6 miles, or
Yeah.
how many times I ran. Like, I remember running. I used to run about that distance.
Yeah.
Um,
Like imagine, hang on. Let's figure this out here.
what's really impossible to imagine, which is probably not at all exaggerated or couldn't be exaggerated, is the pressure.
Oh, the pressure, yeah. That's unbearable, you know. That's why
How
hardly
does,
anybody's have gone down there.
how does it work exactly? Like,
Well, it's
how does
just
that? Is
what-
it like every X number of feet down you go,
is a ton or something.
the amount above you is what's weighing on you? How does it fucking work?
Well, I mean, it's just like you're underwater and all the weight of the water is on you. It's simple. It's like imagine being buried under clay or something, except it's water and it's miles of it. So, you know, water is pretty heavy. Like imagine carrying a jug of water and how heavy that can be. And then imagine
Like,
all the jugs
is it-
of water are just sitting on you. But you're
Is it
actually
only
in
the water that's directly above you?
I think so. I think that would be how it works. Because that's the only water that's pushing down on you. I mean, I guess when it's pushing down on you, the water underneath you is pushing up on you as well. It's pushing in all around you. That's why they always demonstrate it. Like when you have an egg, all the guys are like, well, this is what water does to you. And then they just crush the egg in their hands. Because that's literally what it's doing. Because it's pushing in on you on all sides. If there's a pocket of air and you're that far down, because that's how boats float, you know, water pushes the boat up. So if you're that far down, it's pushing on you from all angles. So imagine this. This is kind of mind-blowing to me. The Mariana Trench, imagine you're driving 50 miles an hour. That's not slow. 50 miles an hour for 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That's how long it would take to, if you were driving, if you were on the surface of the ocean and you had a road straight down, that's how long it would take you to reach the bottom. That's pretty far, man.
How many minutes?
8 minutes, 30 seconds. Driving 50 miles an hour. About.
What was it, 6.9 miles or something?
6.8 miles. So it'd take 8 minutes to drive to the bottom going 50 miles an hour if it was just a straight shot.
Oh. Can anything live down there?
Oh yeah, there's things that live down there. Pretty interesting. I remember reading a story. I don't know if this was the Mariana Trench or what. I don't even know if it was in the trench or anything, but I think it was a nuclear sub. And when you have ocean depths that are that intense and that far down, there's all kinds of ocean activity that's going on beneath the surface that you don't even see, you know, because there's currents and there's heat and cold and all these things making the water shift and the earth shift and move. So there's a submarine down there, and the submarine went missing. This was, I can't remember the year. I want to say it was like a World War II kind of era. And the submarine went missing, and they realized that an under the ocean tidal wave basically crushed it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude.
like and they were like, "What the hell happened to this boat?" And they were wondering that because they never saw anything on the surface. There was no activity on the surface, nothing, but it was all under the ocean, and it was the tidal wave that crushed the. It's not tidal, I guess, but it was the giant like rogue wave underneath the surface of the water that killed it that crushed the sub. So, not a trace. Nothing ever appeared on the surface or anything as far as ocean.
Like they never found a part of it. They never.
I think they found like
tracks?
traces. I don't know. I think they found traces of it, but you know, as far as the actual incident, there's nothing recorded. It's just gone.
Ah, man, I really don't understand how that shit works, man. Like, I mean, no surprise, I don't understand most anything, especially when it has to do with math and that kind of science stuff. But the idea of a wave to me under the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not saying it's not a thing.
Oh, it's
I'm just
totally a
confessing
thing.
I don't know it. I
Yeah.
don't understand. That's
It's
all I'm
just
saying.
imagine there's currents and things going all kinds of different ways under the water, right? Because there's
I
just so
imagine
much. Yeah.
when I imagine a wave hit a submarine, I don't imagine it hit it like a wall. I imagine I imagine a current.
Yeah.
You know, like the water's already there,
Yeah.
and I can see it pushing the boat in a
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
The idea of it just obliterating it or something sounds pretty
That's what happened.
intense.
So what we have here is okay. Let's see here. Here's like a thermal imaging of. Hang on. God, that's so much reading. I don't want to do that much reading. But there's some interesting satellite images of underwater waves that are really cool looking. And they're huge, man. They're just walls under the water. Waves spanning hundreds of miles. Wow, dude. So check this out.
You gonna throw it up on the stream?
No, I'm not. I guess I could. Here, it's in the chat. It is right now. Newly released.
I should report your message. Bennett.
A newly released photograph taken from the International Space Station shows the rarely seen phenomena of internal waves, colossal movements of water spanning kilometers that ripple under the surface of the Earth's oceans. Observed above the Caribbean island of Trinidad, oh, that's where my grandma grew up. In January, internal waves are seldom encountered and hardly ever photographed, but have been known to affect submariners and oil rig workers with their enormous power. The appearance of the waves in the picture is enhanced because of sunlight or sun glint reflected back to the space station, which makes the waves visible to the crew members of the camera. The clearest waves can be seen at the top left of the photograph, coming from the northwest due to tidal flow toward Trinidad. A separate set of internal waves is moving through the northeast, according to the NASA, most likely due to water rolling off the edge of the continental shelf of the Caribbean, where the sea floor suddenly drops out. Wow, that's pretty cool. So if you were down there, all you would see is like flat ocean. But that's all that shit's going on under the water.
You say down there, you mean under it?
No, like on the water on a ship or something.
Oh,
Yeah. Or on the island. But underneath all those ripples and things are going on underneath the ocean.
I think we ought to create a sea monster. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just too cool of an idea, you know? It just should exist. We should make one. Then what we should do is create another one. Fucking have them battle it out.
have them fight, sea monster fight. Yeah.
Yeah, attach cams to them.
GoPros.
Or release them. Yeah.
Yeah, put
exactly.
GoPros on their shoulders.
It'd be funny if they did make one and then it goes down and gets like just totally swallowed whole by him by something that already existed.
Oh Jesus. Oh man. We should call it semen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, perfect. Semen 1 and Semen 1.5.
Yeah. 1.5 came first.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's your ocean tidbits for the day.
Oh man.
Did you see the new Unexplained YouTube?
I have not.
God damn, dude. You haven't seen anything. Watch anything new on the channel?
I've got the 2 streams loaded.
Oh. Can't talk to you about anything.
No, you talk about it again and upload it all over, and I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it someday 3 times.
Oh, boy.
Hang on a second.
All right. I'm hanging on.
I'm gonna type in the chat. There we go.
Some
So what? Yeah, what is it? It's a monster thing, sea monster thing.
No, we're not doing sea monsters on Unexplained. Come on. No, we did Bigfoot, and then one's an alien on the roof.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I haven't seen it yet. I'd like to. It's too bad.
Yeah, too bad. One day you'll get to it. Too busy watching DSP streaming all day.
Yeah. Is it? Let me guess what happens. There's 3 people sitting around outside, and then they catch the thing on the roof, and it gets yanked off, and then the Kevin James looking one runs at the cameraman, screaming, "He left me here to die."
Left me here to die? No, no. No, this one's a little bit higher quality than that. That's the Skeptic's Corner. It's just one dude with a camera that got it. The big
That actually was unexplained, right?
yeah, that was
the
an
Kevin James
unexplained.
one?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
long before Skeptic's Corner existed. Yeah, you guys should do another rant on DSP, says Phil Kelly. Dude, Phil Kelly,
You missed it.
you missed it, man. About 40 minutes
Started
ago.
it.
Yeah, we were talking all about DSP. Man. And this will be uploaded. You can go back and watch it if you want. And then the Bigfoot one is a Bigfoot kind of digging at a tree.
Bullet.
Huh?
Bullet.
Yeah, is a bullet kind of digging out a tree. And it's an interesting one. It's pretty it's
Yeah?
yeah.
Did it look good?
It's a step up from the usual, I would
I'm gonna
say.
pull it up.
Yeah. It's kind of
to
creepy.
see. I
Yeah.
won't watch it, but
It's decent. It's decent.
skunk ape Bigfoot.
Yeah. Skunk ape Bigfoot.
I'm gonna. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, ooh, okay, ooh. Okay,
All right.
okay,
I'm looking at it. I'm watching the muted.
okay, all right. We cut a little bit out to avoid fair share, so or fair use, whatever. I can email.
To make it not fair.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Look at that.
it's interesting, man. He's breaking shit off the tree. He stands up really creepily. It's good.
How big you figure that thing is?
I don't know. There's no way to tell how far away it is from him. The only sense of scale we get is when the dude runs near the end and you see his shoes a little bit. That's like the only thing that gives away any scale. I'd say it's about 6 foot plus, give or take. It's hard to tell. He stands up pretty good.
You know, it'd be interesting
There you go. There's the original.
if it were. What did you cut out? I mean, did I miss anything?
We cut out the beginning where there's sort of nothing going on, and we just cut it down where it's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. I left in the parts where there's like big movements, but definitely watch the original.
All right. Pull it up.
It's decent. If you guys want to watch what we're watching, we're just watching.
I think I saw skunk ape. Please help.
Please help.
Donate to my Patreon.
That's the thing, though.
We haven't met this month's goal.
No, that's the thing, though, dude. That's this dude's only video, and it was 3 years ago, and with no updates whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's compelling. It's
Wow.
yeah,
I'm watching the original video, and actually, it's way creepier.
it's way creepy.
Like at 16 seconds, we start, or maybe 18, 19 seconds, it starts to like rip shit off the tree.
Oh, totally, dude.
Oh, and there's sound?
Yeah, yeah. The dude's being real quiet.
Oh my god. Ew, that's really creepy. The sound
It's a good
of the
one.
tree being ripped,
Yeah.
like,
He's like ripping the shit out of it. It's loud, man. He's cracking shit. He's cracking hunks of bark.
and what is he throwing it into the water?
Yeah, it looks like he just discards it.
Why is he ripping it? You figure?
He's probably trying to get at something inside. If it's not a
Surprised
hoax.
it doesn't. Surprised it doesn't hear him. Supposing it's real, of course.
Yeah, right, yeah. But it's creepy.
Like, that to me is the most telling thing, because I mean, clearly it's not CG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really good.
It's a really good one.
The sound is really good.
Yeah.
Um, the quality of the image is good.
Yeah.
I think I see it like, is it picking its own ass and shit? It's like,
It's a good one.
to me, that's what it seems to me the thing that would make it suspect is just the fact that this guy can make sounds with his camera
Here's the story.
and whisper.
Well, I don't think it would hear that necessarily. You know, this dude's a hunter, so at least his story says that. So the story goes is that he was sitting there for hours waiting for hogs to come along, and he looked up because he was hearing something, and he just looked up over the brush and he saw that. So he just stood up and he caught it on his camera without really moving around too much. And you got to think, if it is real, and it's really kind of like, there's no way it's real because it's Bigfoot. But if it is real, maybe, I'm assuming this guy probably goes out there and hunts all the time. And maybe the thing is just used to him.
I'm watching again that part where it stands up. It's weird how he bolts.
I would probably bolt. I probably would have bolted long before.
Probably would have walked up to it and done the Spock hand.
Anyway, I like that video.
I'm like watching that over and over where it stands up. Interesting.
Yeah, like I was saying. Yeah, it was like, if this dude's out there all the time, Ilsildur, however you want me to say your name. If this dude's out there all the time hunting and it's his property, he says in the little thing below, the thing's probably used to him. So it's probably, and if it's smart, it seems to be smart. If it's digging in a tree, and if it's smart, it just knows like, oh, that fucking guy's out here again. Whatever. Again, that's if it's real, and I don't think it is, because there's no such thing as fucking Bigfoot. Bigfoot ain't real.
Bigfoot ain't real.
No, sir. Bigfoot ain't real.
I mean, at least you know it's not CG.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's a guy in a suit or it's a Squatch. It's one or the other. Or it's an alien in a suit, in a Bigfoot suit.
Alien in a Bigfoot suit. You don't even know that it's... You know, there's just so little detail. You don't even know that it's just not a guy dressed in dark.
What?
What?
I'm watching again with that theory. No. I think it's a dude in a suit.
It's gotta be, right? Bigfoot,
Well,
Bigfoot
yeah,
ain't real.
yes. Right. Some of its movements are really stage actor. I mean, not that I would fucking know what a Bigfoot moves like, but it moves. Well, I guess it moves.
I mean, to me...
Like it moves like an ape, you know?
Yeah. The movements don't bother me too much. But there's no movements done there that a dude that watched a few videos of gorillas and things couldn't do.
Right, but
Yeah.
it reminds me of that. It
I
reminds
think
me of
as
that.
it was meant to, if it is a hoax or if it's real or whatever. The first thing I thought was like I mentioned this in the UnX episode was I remember watching videos on Discovery or National Geographic or whatever where they would show monkeys like using sticks to get termites in the trees or whatever, and that's what it really reminds me of.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is cool, you know. This is a step above other Bigfoot videos. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the quality.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Really,
really
the guy runs like that's. I wonder like, why does the video end? Like he runs away. Like how does he? What the fuck happens? You know? Does it just run the opposite direction as he runs in the opposite direction?
I don't know. Who knows? He probably stopped the recording or something. Maybe clicked off his phone. I do think it's interesting that when he's running, he stops for a brief second and he looks back. And he gets running again. It's a pretty good touch. Good little moment.
Why is that?
I don't know, because you just don't see that. Either, in a lot of Bigfoot videos, the tape usually just ends with the thing still in frame or
Oh, okay.
or the people just like, what the hell was that? And, you never see him. At least here you can assume the dude ran back to his truck or whatever. So. And the fact that it's the only thing on the channel is interesting. It really makes you think, well, he didn't do this for fame. The video's not monetized, I don't believe. He didn't do this for money or anything. It's strange.
Huh. Yeah, it's got quite a lot of views.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So, there you go. That's what the new NX is about.
That's the only video on the channel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has he responded to anyone's comments? Did you notice?
I don't think so. Maybe. I didn't go through
What
the
does
comments.
please help mean?
I don't know. I just don't
Please.
think he knows what it is. If it's not a hoax.
Right.
The possibility is there that this could have just been a guy out there doing whatever, creepy shit, and he just happened to see the guy.
Ooh, creepier.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a huge possibility here. So, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Interesting.
I looked at the dude's Facebook and everything, and it's just normal. No weird. No Bigfoot fanatic shit or anything like that. So.
That almost discredits it. I mean,
Yeah, in a way, I suppose.
after
Yeah.
you see it, right? After you see that, like, I suppose it's real.
Yeah.
Like, my life would be dedicated to that afterwards.
It makes you
Like,
think.
remember the
Go ahead.
remember Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah.
The guy's buddy. It's his buddy, right? The guy who's got like the shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like that guy.
Oh, maybe this guy. Maybe this guy isn't like you. I don't know. It's.
Actually, I'd probably go on a death wish.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably start camping out in the woods every night.
Trying to get it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No greater proof than if it fucking mauls you.
Mm-hmm.
Picks you up, slams you against a tree.
I think you got kind of a duty to die if you come across it with a camera. Like, what's this shit about?
Yeah.
Run away or like?
Look, I would probably run. I don't think I would stick around.
You think if you called out to it?
No. Oh, you asked. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, you think if you called out to it, I mean, you think it'd just fucking rip your head off, or do you think?
Well, okay. It's assuming I see with my own two eyes exactly what's seen on that video, right? Let's just put me
Right.
in that situation.
Yeah, were you taller than it?
Yeah, I'm probably taller. It doesn't mean I'm as badass as whatever it is. I look at that and I
Wear
don't.
sunglasses.
Yeah. So I look at that and I don't think. I guess I would think Bigfoot just because of all the tropes and everything that exists, but it wouldn't be what I actually think it is. If I were out there and I were watching this, I'd think, oh, what the fuck is this guy doing? He looks like a Bigfoot. And just and just on that basis, I wouldn't want to tangle with him because he's doing like, why is there a fucking guy out here digging at a tree? This is fucking weird. You got to be a real creep to be doing this kind of thing. I wouldn't want to deal with it. I'd just scoot on out, I think.
Why
You
do
know,
think
it's like
ran?
I'm alone, right?
Wouldn't running draw attention to you?
Yeah, but at least I'd be getting away, maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, better run than sit there and not run, I guess. I don't know if I would run. I mean, you know, everybody's going to react different. I might try and sloop away. I might I might try and sneak away. And maybe if it stood up, maybe then I would run. I don't know. There's that fight or flight thing. And seeing as I'm alone in a terrain that I'm not very familiar with, I'm probably going to run. So,
There's a comment. Skunk ape, I can easily say are real. Bigfoot, not sure.
what the fuck is the difference?
The first question is, the fuck is the difference? You want to guess what the next thing is too, or?
What's the next thing? No, I don't know what the next thing is. What is it?
Bigfoot is a ape-human hybrid.
Okay.
A skunk ape is a smelly ape.
What the fuck? it's a monkey man in the woods. Is what they all are.
That's what the next comment. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh Jesus.
Next comment says the skunk ape is Bigfoot.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're interchangeable. To me, as a Bigfoot is anything that's an ape human in the woods thing ish. So, yeah, but yeah, it's a good video. I like that video. It's interesting. It's real interesting to watch. I think the dude's reaction is pretty solid. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Anybody in chat want to talk about anything? Any subjects you want to bring up? I'm all ears, guys. Any stories you want to tell or have us read?
Anybody want their message removed?
Any any messages you want removed? So where did he film this? This is in. It says it's in Mississippi, 9 miles some direction of Tunica. So there you go. On his hunting land. It seems like he might own the property. I'm not sure.
Maybe he owns a Squatch.
Maybe he owns himself a Squatch. Came with the land.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe he owns 20, 30 Squatch. That's the only one he's seen. Have you heard about the TV show Mountain Monsters? No, I haven't. I haven't watched TV in a long time, Mr. Gamer Expert. Meow Caddington. Do you think Bigfoot wonders if humans are real? Maybe. I don't know. Bigfoot probably sees more humans than we see of him.
That's right.
What the fuck is this thing on my land? Maybe. Maybe the Bigfoot's looking at him going, what the fuck is that thing on my land?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Maybe the Bigfoot was digging in the tree for his pistol to shoot that thing.
Yeah.
On his land. Where'd I keep my fucking Glock? I need to dome me some faggot hunter on my land.
Yeah.
It's like finding Bigfoot but with a bunch of rednecks with guns. As opposed to finding Bigfoot with a bunch of retards with cameras. Alright, that sounds pretty horrible. That sounds really horrible.
Since no one ever finds anything anyway, you could do one in like an urban locale.
Oh, that'd be cool. There's been some interesting stories of Bigfoots creeping into neighborhoods. What, that one lady wrote that book that was called 100 Days of Bigfoot, 100 Days with Bigfoot or something like that.
Like a romantic.
I had some creepy tales in it. If anything, it's worth it for the campfire creep, you know?
What is it? What does it happen?
I think it's called 100 Days of Bigfoot. It's just this lady's recount of of her living in this house at the end of a sort of I think maybe it's cul-de-sac or a street that wasn't finished or something, and there's woods at the end of the street, and she kind of lives out there beyond all the other houses, and she was having weird shit happen around her house, and Bigfoot shit. You know, it's worth it for the creep. I would say check it out. I gotta look that up now and make sure I have that right. You know, who knows if she's telling any sort of truth or not, but 100 Days of Bigfoot, I think is what it's called. 100 Bigfoot Nights. That's what it's called.
It's kind of like that. What's the one about Arabian Nights or whatever?
Oh, I don't know. Arabian Nights?
No, the one that Aladdin was made of.
Oh,
Or was it Aladdin? I don't remember. Something called like, isn't it? It's called like 100 Nights or something. 100
not
Arabian Nights.
I'm not sure. 1001 Nights. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's 100 Bigfoot Nights, a chilling, true story. Who knows? But it's got some good Bigfoot creep in there, guys.
that's good.
Yeah, it's always good. I like Bigfoot creep. I think I enjoy Bigfoot creepy stories more than any other. Barring perhaps real house invasion stories or something like that.
Ugh, that's the worst.
I mean, those are gross, but they're vastly more entertaining, you know. Just because they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely the scariest.
But out of the paranormal shit, it's Bigfoot, I think, takes my top of the spot.
I think Bigfoot's mine too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the competitors are
Competitors.
my competitor. Are like aliens, for example. When I think of aliens, I think my view on aliens, if I were to sum it up in a line,
Uh-huh.
is basically that to be as technologically as advanced and intelligent as they would have to be to get here,
Yeah.
they would have to be highly moral. Because I don't think there's a dichotomy between that. So I'm not like creeped by them. I'm actually more interested. Like,
Yeah.
then there's the sea life, which that I find to be creepier in a way, mostly because it's a world of huge, dark, etc. That element's real. And then, of course, the water itself is so unclean and, like, just being, and, you know, ensnared in, like, and salt, you know? And just unlivable. Just everything. It's like, it's as bad as you can get on Earth, basically. So I find that, and the fact that there's huge fucking ballers down there that we know about, let alone, you know. Now, I don't think there's anything down there that we don't know about. I mean, maybe, but not the juicy, you know, Leviathan type. Anyway, so the reason there's the reason that the stories aren't very good is there's not many, for one. And there's not really much agency. There's not much room for a story.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, it's got to happen on the ship, and then, you know, you've got it. Basically, the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu stuff and Moby Dick kind of seems to tap out the whole experience of that. But yeah, but with Squatch you can have a lot more
watches endless good times.
Yeah, like you remember the story where a guy was in the bathroom and an arm reached to the window?
Oh, jeez, Louise, that's too much. It's too much, man. You don't have a sea monster doing that. Unless it's
No.
like a squid tentacle in the submarine shooter or something. To me, sea monsters were never interesting to me because I just couldn't relate. You know, I was never on the
You
water.
didn't have anything in common with him?
I didn't have anything in common. I was always in the desert. I was never on the water. Water interests me. I love old timey ship stories and things like that. And reading about a kraken eating a pirate ship or whatever is always cool. But it's not scary to me. In the same way, like giant dinosaurs and King Kong and things aren't scary to me. It's like, oh, that's a spectacle to behold. It's not creepy. But things like Bigfoot creeping on you in the woods and looking in your windows and things like that, being on your roof, being in your house somewhere else, ooh, it's no good, man. That's something Bigfoot can do that a lot of those things can't, especially sea monsters. I just never could be scared of them because I don't have anything, I don't have any personal experiences besides like diving once that I can really relate to with them. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really have much experience either. I mean, I did go whale watching when I was a kid,
yeah,
but I was way spooked like before going. Actually, I wasn't spooked really. It was always more like awe with
Yeah.
whales and shit than fear.
yeah,
That there's an element of fear in something that's that over the top, you know?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would say it's probably about the same. You know, just whales and things in the ocean. The ocean itself is just so much bigger and more powerful than you. You should fear it. Like I said earlier, I think you surrender your rights when you're on the ocean because it's not what humans are meant to be on. It's not what nature built us to be on. So, but a Bigfoot is a Bigfoot. He's a lot like you, but he's bigger and scarier.
Well, unless it's a skunk ape, then he's
Unless it's a skunk ape, then it's
he's
just
a
an
smelly
ape.
ape. He's not
Yeah.
a human ape hybrid. Something we learned.
Yeah, there's a line to be drawn there, and I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry, I can't recognize the difference. I'll learn to amend. Have you guys heard a lot of stories of alien abductions and encounters? Oh, endless stories of alien abductions and encounters. Of course. Those are some of my favorites, too. I really do think that, you know the Travis Walton case, right? The guy in Snowflake, Arizona, that disappeared for 5 days, or however many days.
Is this like Prophecy was based on?
No, I don't think so. This is real. The dude disappeared for 5 days. Name's Travis Walton. His logger buddy saw him get zapped by this thing in the sky. Gets his ass knocked back. They freak out and leave. And then, like, a few minutes down the road, they're like, oh, man, we got to go back and get him. So they go back and get him, and there's nothing there. And when they get back to town, they're all in shock. And basically everybody says, you guys killed Travis Walton. And they said, no, we didn't kill Travis Walton. We watched this thing zap him and take him away. He wasn't there when we went back. And they all underwent polygraph tests, lie detector tests by the best dude in the country. Did it. One of the best lie detector guys in the country did it. All of them passed except one guy who had emotional problems. Travis Walton turned up 5 days later, and he said, no, they didn't knock me out or anything. I was taken into a craft by these beings.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they made him take the polygraph test too, I believe, and he passed. And then years later, and all their stories lined up. Nobody had any variables in their stories.
And I'm sure it wasn't just like, did you kill him? It was like, did you... I mean, at some point, did they... They must have asked the questions that pertain to what they said happened too, right?
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. And so, anyway, years later, they were given the same polygraph test. I think they were given the test like 3 or 4 times, and they passed every single time. All of them. All 5 or 6 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really compelling. And there's an interview out there, I think Paranormal Witness did it, of Travis Walton telling his story. And to watch him tell his story of being abducted is really compelling. Just watching his face as he tells it. I think something happened to him. I think something happened. I don't think it was a put on.
He was gone for 5 days?
5 days.
They have a good time, or what happened?
He basically says they strapped him to a table, and they were doing, all the usual alien shit to him. The way he remembers describing them, the way I remember him describing them, is he got such a strange look on his face when he described their eyes. I remember that creeping me out for some reason. If anybody could find the Paranormal Witness interview of Travis Walton, link me. But when he was describing what they looked like, and he described that he really couldn't see anything into their eyes or anything like that, he got such a creepy look, and it made my arms, the hair on my arms, stand up. It's so weird to watch.
Like, what is that? Like bug eyes? Like,
I don't know.
like when he says he couldn't see anything in them.
Like, I guess, when you look at a person's eyes, I guess I'm assuming here, I don't know what he actually meant. Maybe I'd have to rewatch it and be clear to me. But I'm assuming what he actually meant is, like, when you look at a person's eyes, like, it's kind of the window to their soul. Like, you can see that they're a living, thinking,
Right.
compassionate being. I don't think he saw that with them. And to see him say that really creeped me out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because the way I imagined it was like, when you look at our eyes, you see
Yeah, the
you see
yeah, the layers.
lots of layers. You see the circle
yeah.
of color that always has a lot of shit going on. It's not a flat color. There's always shit going on in there.
Yeah.
And you see like the movement,
Mhm.
not just the movement of the eye, which like, which moves like an owl, in a way where
Right,
it's just
right.
kind of like teleports from one little bits at a time.
Yeah.
It doesn't really move smoothly across anything.
Yeah.
And the pupil that moves and contracts, and there's a ton of shit going on. And then I imagine like the alien eye being like the Walmart eye, the eye in the sky, just this.
Yeah,
this-
just this black nothing. Whoa.
plastic object,
Yeah. I think that I think he probably meant that, and the way he felt too. I could be wrong, but maybe I'm recalling somebody else. But I remember him saying that they weren't treating him like he was a living object. They were treating him like he was a thing, like looking at him, examining him, things like that. And I believed him, man. He told it really frighteningly. And the look he got in his eyes when he said that was really chilling. And, yeah, he's had a lot of years to perfect his storytelling, but he in the end of the day he did go missing for 5 days, and they all passed the polygraph test multiple times. So something big happened. I don't know what it was, but really interesting.
he found it, but he can't link it.
Oh shit! What's it called? I'll type in the title. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that. Forgot. You gotta be a moderator like Lee.
Big shot.
Yeah.
It's too bad though, because if you could post it, then I could block it.
All right. The abduction of Travis Walton, Part 1. Do you know if in that part is the part where he talks about what they look like? Hang on one second. Is it on the channel Paranormal TV? Abduction of Travis Walton. Yeah, I'm just gonna see here. I'm looking for one particular interview, and that's not the one. Travis Walton. Paranormal Witness. Alright, here you go, Lee. Let me make sure that this is it. Here you go. You can watch this in your free time. He did it, no, it's alright, Ilsildur. It's somewhere in that video right there where he mentions it. And I don't know, it's been a few years since I've seen it. But, yeah, when he mentions what they look like and how their faces were, it's really creepy. It's a really creepy moment. It stood out to me for some reason. So watch that in your free time. Super interesting. Sorry it's in the little tiny box in the corner. They're avoiding copyright. But yeah, there it is.
So kind of ridiculous what like how the copyright stuff works.
Yeah.
I don't have my mind made up on it as a whole, but I think if it doesn't work because people can still do this,
Yeah.
all it does is make their product look worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, it's like, wow.
imagine for example, if my music were posted on there, but to avoid it from getting pulled down, they had to fuck it up. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know. And then I put in another rule where it's like, you know, they just keep making it worse and worse to like try to like. No, anyway, you get me.
Yeah, I get you.
So they do like reenactments and stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the better ones. This is, you know, it's like one of those shows where some episodes are cheesy and maybe they wrote it for the particular episode or whatever. But this one in particular is a long-known case, and they did like a two-parter on it. I thought it was pretty well done as far as these kinds of shows go. So, yeah. Anyway,
Man, I'm really curious.
watch in your free time. Watch him when they talk to him. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I remember that fucking creeped me out, man. And it wasn't like I was a little kid when I saw that. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. So,
Man, I'm eager. I can't wait.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Interesting then that if they you know put him back.
Yeah, I think he fought back or something, and they just put him back. I recall him like putting up a fuss, and the aliens were kind of having a hard time like getting him to abide. Like he wasn't taking their anesthesia or something. There's a weird detail like that, so they put him back. At least that's what I think he told. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. If anybody can say yay or nay to that, I'll be grateful. But you know, you think of most abduction cases and the people do return, or else there'd be no stories.
Right.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? Anybody want to call in or anything? Anybody have anything else you want to send our way?
I'm kind of in a mood now from that, thinking about it.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, gives me the, I don't know, intrigue.
There you go. Succeed. I succeeded. I made you feel some mystery again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, actually, I feel, or just intrigued, like thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, close to feel, almost feel alive.
Almost
again.
feel human.
You know,
Well,
I can put the bank heist off another year.
Yeah. The suicide drive off the cliff.
Yeah.
He said he was putting up a fight and they just left him alone. There you go. Thank you, Ilsildur. I hope I'm saying that right. Lee, I ask you to talk about this every now and then.
Mm.
I want you to recount it always gives me chills, and it's not even that creepy. It's just the way you say it. It's when you were spending the night somewhere and you noticed something block out the light on the VCR.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I could go through that.
Yeah, okay.
I got a few stories. I don't know if you remember them all, but yeah,
I remember
that
the
one.
other one where you were in the tent and you were hearing the beeping coming towards you, the
Oh
tone.
my god, dude.
Yeah.
That was the scariest I've ever been in my life. Most scared. Do you remember the one with the little shed and the dog?
That I do not.
I bet you it was Mike's dog. So I bet you he remembers it. I haven't talked to him in a long time. We're kids and all that, so I'm sure he totally discounts it, as I am inclined to do. But it was a for real thing that happened, and it was just we were just scared shitless about it.
Yeah.
There was that. Then there was the dude outside the window one, the green
What?
man.
Oh, that one.
I told you about that one.
Really? I don't know that I know that or remember it.
And then what's funny too is one time I told Paula about it,
Uh-huh.
even though because I was still really slow to bring it up because it's not like with my close friends talk stupid shit all the time, and I don't feel self-conscious about saying some weird shit like that.
Okay.
So one time I mentioned it to her though, told her about the story, and she was like kind of floored, and she said a similar experience happened to her,
This is a
but it was
guy
a
in a
but it
window?
was but it was a blue man
What the
for
fuck are
her,
you... I don't
and it
know.
was in a window too. Yeah,
I don't remember
and
this.
and she said that she never talks about it because it's so
Yeah.
people may think you're fucking an idiot or something.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start with the light thing.
Yeah, start with the light thing. I gotta remember the thing in the window because I don't know that I remember that too well.
All right. So the light thing it was actually at my place,
Okay.
or my mom's place. I was a kid, and I was in my bed, and I don't know why I couldn't sleep or something, and I'm just laying in bed under the covers, um, and I wasn't like 4 or something. I was probably it had to have been 16 or something.
Oh, okay.
Um, Probably like 16.
Wow,
And
man. Okay.
and I was looking at the VCR light. It's a little light.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the only light in the room because it's in Arizona. It's crazy hot, so I don't even have like light from the the window, like moonlight or anything, because my mom put like these I don't know, blankets or whatever they were over the window, just basically to keep the heat from coming in the mornings.
Sure.
Like a big baby, and my mom doing shit like that. But anyway,
Mom, it's too hot in my room.
up each help.
Can you put a blanket on my window? Keep the sun out, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm 16. My name's Lee.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't ask for the record. Anyways,
Oh, sure. Okay.
yeah, I did.
You don't remember asking. For the record.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so I'm laying there under the covers, right, and there's the light. I can see it, and I can't sleep. And you know how you blur your vision?
Sure.
All right. Well, okay. So I was blurring my vision, and
You're just asking for it. Laying there in the black
I
dark.
could just finish the story, or I can give a little bit of background, just a little bit of background. Too.
Okay, just a little bit. You tell it how you want.
Okay.
It's your story.
So here's a little background. My mom told me when I was a kid, because my
Oh,
mom's
jeez.
a little on the mystical end.
Okay.
I mean, not mystical like just in the normal mystical way.
Sure.
Normal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was telling me, to about the time when she was a kid and she tried moving shit with her eyes,
Okay.
and she tried really hard and focused, and and she heard like horrifying laughter,
Ooh.
and so she just like fucking never did it again. She brought it up to tell me not to try it.
Yeah, and of course now you got to.
And it's funny too, because if this were like the kind of story that was coming from a dad, it'd be like a troll dad.
Sure. Sure.
But no one like I don't like she felt that she didn't get the idea from anyone,
Yeah.
and so that I could come up with the idea myself, and so sort of preemptively saying, not to do it. That's why she brought it up in the first place.
And of course now you got to do it. Thanks, Mom.
Well, it wasn't like she told me that day either. That was like something that she told me way back in like my first house when I was
Yeah.
younger than 9. Anyway, so obviously I had tried it a million times.
Yeah.
To know nothing ever happened. I mean, I never got any vibes. I never got anything. Nothing freaked me out ever. Anyway, I'm laying there in the bed, and I'm looking at this light on the VCR, blurring my eyes, and I notice that when I blur my eyes, it kind of makes the light look, I don't know, like a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'll blur it more. I'll just blur as much as I can and see if I can blur it till the light goes away.
Just closing your eyes, basically.
Because it wasn't like blurring it through squinting. It was like, you know what I'm talking about. Like
You
I'm
do that
doing right
thing where
now,
you-
looking at the screen.
Yeah, yeah, where you just kind of, it's like crossing your eyes until it just goes out of focus. Yeah.
Yeah, like way out of focus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it almost like, yeah. Anyway, so I was doing that, and it's getting smaller and smaller, and I was kind of like almost to the point where I couldn't see it, and then it was gone.
Uh-oh.
And so I unblur my eyes, but I still don't see it.
Oh.
And it was like it was gone, and I was like,
Oh.
well, I wouldn't even know how to bring it back. I was thinking, like, what is going on? Like, because it can't really be gone. I mean,
Oh.
fuck, VCR is on, and that's when it occurred to me,
Oh.
you know,
Something's
maybe
got to be
something
there.
was standing in front of it.
Oh, no.
Like
No.
something's standing between me and it,
Oh.
and then I was pretty scared.
Man. What do you think happened?
I really don't know.
That's one of those things, man.
I mean, what I did after that was basically was like, fuck it, dude. I'm not moving.
I'm moving out of this house.
It was the opposite. It was the opposite of like Squatch folk, where you're just like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run away.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just-
I won't
I'm
move
gonna close
at
my eyes. I hope it goes away. Just hope everything bad doesn't exist.
all.
But
Man. Does that still, when you recount that, does it still scare you?
no, no.
It's weird, man. That's a weird.
I'll tell you what's vivid is the concept is super vivid.
Yeah.
I don't remember much. I mean, there's not much to remember. It was a dark room aside from a single light.
Right, right.
But basically, all there was to remember from the event was the act of blurring the eyes with the thing, and then the mystery of what happened to why I couldn't see the light anymore, and then of course the thought. I mean, imagine if it just had never occurred to me, that thought, because it's the thought
Yeah.
that's creepy.
It's the thought that's creepy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you would have never arrived on that, you're like, oh, I blurred it out.
I just couldn't think of another. I couldn't. That was like, if you ask me what happened, here's the truth of the matter. You asked me what happened, right? That's the question I asked,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't think of anything other than, well, something is standing between me and it.
Oh.
That's the only thing that made sense, right?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, maybe that doesn't quote make sense, but I mean, in like a natural
Yeah,
world
something's blocking.
way,
it. Yeah.
I can't see it because
Yeah.
there's something between me and it. That's the only thing I could think of.
The detail I always forget, and I always remember it when you tell it, is that you unblurred your eyes after it disappeared, and then it's still not there.
Yeah, it was gone. I had time to think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had time. I had hours. I wasn't just laying awake for hours and hours or anything. But the point is like, it wasn't even a high adrenaline situation. It was like where you just get something creepy in your head, and now you're scared, and you know it's you scaring yourself.
But the light was gone.
It's still gone. Yeah,
The light is physically gone.
yeah,
Light is a physical thing, and it was gone.
exactly.
Something happened to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, let's be skeptical here.
VCR turning
what-
off.
No, that's. I'd be more skeptical of that. What the fucking VCR is turned off? Like,
Well, I
it
mean,
wasn't when it had numbers on it. It was just a dot.
yeah, I know
Just
what
a
you're
dot.
talking about. It's just a little dot that says that it tapes in or out or whatever. I know that, but maybe the VCR to time it. Yeah, maybe the power went out. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or maybe there's just this big thing standing there,
Yeah.
waiting for you to flip on that light so it could eat you.
Yeah. Maybe the power went out.
Yeah. A little brown out, little reset, something. Maybe you rolled over on a remote.
No, I wasn't moving around and dancing in
Do you have
bed.
any pets?
I do. Well, I did.
What'd you have?
Dog.
You had a dog? You have any cats? Cats are static.
Uh,
Cats do that static shit where they turn shit on walking by
I
it.
don't think at that time. Maybe you know what? At that time, I think I did have a cat at that time.
Maybe that happened. That's a stretch, but maybe that happened. Maybe cat.
Maybe I think it's more. I think it's more likely. Like, I think okay, like this is a kind of catch-all, you know. But maybe I fell asleep
Maybe you fell asleep.
and the rest happened in my mind. But I mean, I mean, I knew I was awake.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Were you in that weird, maybe in that weird spot between awake and sleep?
I don't really think so because it was the blurring was very deliberate, very awake, very second by second by
Something
second.
I'm thinking about. Did you hypnotize yourself? You're just staring at that light, man. Did you hypnotize
Oh,
yourself?
I had never thought of that because
Yeah.
I don't really believe in hypnotism.
I mean, hypnotism happens. You can get zoned out. It happens to people on the freeway when they're staring at the reflectors in the road.
Wait, I don't know. That's almost creepier. That's
Yeah.
almost the creepiest thing I've heard.
Yeah. I mean,
Imagine if I hypnotize myself.
it happens. Did you do that, you think? Is that a possibility?
I don't know because I don't know
You maybe you
what
should get
hypnotism means.
maybe you
really.
should try and get hypnotized and see if it feels similar to what you remember.
I guess you know what? In a way, that's an explanation.
Yeah? I mean, things like that
And
happen
it-
in the mind, dude.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy it, but it's definitely an explanation.
Yeah. It's more of an
It-
explanation than a demon standing between you and the VCR.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
Especially if you're laying there in bed and you know you don't want to sleep, but you kind of just laying there wanting to sleep or whatever. You know, your mind isn't working correctly.
Yeah.
I could buy that.
You know what's funny is like, and then okay, another one is like that. You know, the power of like suggestion kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I kind of got a bit of a creepy feel right now.
Yeah. Is that me?
I mean, I think it's the. I don't know. It's just,
You looking behind you?
it's kind of got a creepy feel.
You know, maybe that thing has always followed you. Maybe that thing that you willed into manifestation has been following you ever since.
Oh, all right, good.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
That wasn't me.
Man. Well, that's a creepy story nonetheless. That's always... I remember... I never had anything like that happen. Other than the creeping myself out laying there at night. I remember not necessarily blurring my eyes, but if you just stare at the dark long enough, your eyes adjust, and sort of the darkness just turns into nothing. Like, even darker than dark, and it just becomes a sea of just darkness, and it, you know, you can start to see things that you don't normally see. Just the way the light is. And I remember laying in my bed, just staring at a part of the wall or staring at a chair or something, until like the light almost seemed hyper real, like intense focus or something like that. That's the closest I could get to that. I never saw light be blocked by anything. And then, you know, the second you move your eyes a little tiny bit, I would break that focus and everything would look normal again. But I remember sitting there staring at the dark, the gray tones and the black tones and the lighter tones, and just letting them all sort of become one color. Just because you're staring at it for so long in the dark, you know, and your eyes are struggling to focus on one thing. Interesting stuff. I think you might have hypnotized yourself.
Yeah.
or something, you know. It's something to think about, because hypnotism happens. People can get thrown into a trance. It's kind of paranormal, but it's kind of not, you know. People get thrown into trances and things. So it's pretty interesting that you unfocused your eyes and it was still gone is the part that really gets me.
Yeah.
Wow.
After I woke up, The next day, you know, everything was normal.
No demon footprints?
I didn't check.
You might have wanted to, huh?
Yeah.
Man, creepy. Fucking creepy, dude. So what's this thing
Yeah.
in the window? I don't remember this story.
All right. Well, it wasn't like, you know, when you think in the window, you think like fucking face
Something
pressed up
looking
to the
in.
glass.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
Um, although actually it wasn't not like, I mean, it wasn't not looking, but it wasn't like close.
Sure.
I was
okay.
closer to the window than it was. Anyway, so it's actually when I was sleeping at my aunt and uncle's old house, the same one who lived here actually,
Okay.
except it was their old house, which is a little out of town, kind of rural.
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 And I woke up and I looked out the window,
Oh, jeez.
super late night. I don't know what time it was because
How old were you?
this I was really young,
Okay.
like too young to know the age.
Okay. All right.
Um, and anyway, I looked out the window, and I remember, you know, it was nighttime. It was dark, but it was lit by the moon well enough, and everything was really green, and I remember a green dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it sounds so stupid.
It doesn't sound that stupid. Like, was he dressed in green? Was it just a green shape of a body? What are we talking about here?
All I really remember was that it was looking towards the window.
Oh.
It wasn't very human-y.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
It's not getting better.
Like it wasn't like a mannequin head. It wasn't like a slim body.
Okay.
It was kind of, I don't know, not fat, but just like thick. That makes sense?
Yeah, like, okay, broad.
Yeah,
Okay.
like weighty.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, yeah, I remember I was really scared, and my cousin was sleeping in the room, and he's like 7 years older than me.
Uh
And I tried to wake him up, you know, kind of nudged him, like, hey, you know,
huh. Just like that, like sex talk in his ear, like that.
yeah, like,
Hey, baby, come on, get up. You might want to get up for this. Come on. It's something I gotta show you.
but no, anyway. And, yeah, I told her there was a green man outside.
Oh.
And he was, like, totally asleep, you know, so he's like, he caught on that I was afraid of something outside. So his answer was, you know, he said, like, that he killed it or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He just made up some bullshit like, oh, yeah, I got it, you know, I killed it. I went out there and killed it.
Okay.
Like, what? Like, he was so asleep he couldn't even think of, he wasn't even, you know, he wouldn't even know the next day that I woke him up.
Did he actually get up and go out there?
No, you know, he fucking didn't
he
open
just
his
said-
eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just threw some shit out to get me to, like, you know, go away or something.
Yeah.
But it was like, anyway, obviously I knew it wasn't that he didn't. I knew what happened. I mean, I knew that he just was asleep and talking shit to, you know,
Yeah.
not even conscious fully. So I just gave up and laid down and
Oh, Jesus.
be still, you know. That was always my answer. to everything.
Right, be still. So, okay, I got questions. I don't ever remember you telling me this.
I'm sure I did.
You probably did, but I just can't remember it.
This is the one where when I told Paula about it, she was really
She had
kind of
something
surprised, and she had, yeah, exactly. Hers
Okay.
was a blue man,
Other
and it
than
was
that,
in the daytime,
day.
and she was way older.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay,
think she was like 16 or something.
I got
15.
questions. I got questions.
Huh,
I got questions.
17.
Okay. What? Now you never answered. Like, was it a guy in like? Are we talking like?
No, it was an all total green dude. It wasn't like
Yeah, but could you see that his skin was green, or was it just a shape?
it-
Could you
Honestly,
bring?
yeah, okay. You remember that show Swamp Thing?
No, I can look it up super quick.
I'm gonna do it too.
Okay. Okay, that thing. Okay,
Do you see an image from the TV show?
I do. Yeah.
Think like that.
Okay.
Like no clothes, skin, or whatever. Just whatever. Like kind of hard to tell. If I were to guess, honestly, I would guess that I just saw a face, I saw a body in, you know, like you just kind of like your brain is a pattern seeking thing and all
Sure.
that.
Sure. And it was looking at you. Do you remember seeing a face other than you think you placing a face on it in your mind? Do you actually remember seeing eyes?
I remember seeing the, what do you call it? Like socket.
Oh,
Sock.
where the eyes would be,
Yeah. Well, not that there weren't eyes, but that
but just like
the eyes themselves would be dark.
there
and I
was
could
there were
just see
features that
indentations of where the
you saw like the brow and like where the eyes should be.
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
like the
Okay.
cheekbones, the tops, basically.
So okay. How I know you're probably super little, couldn't even think of things like this, but big, right? You say it's big, tall.
No, I have no idea how big.
Yeah.
Bigger than me.
How far out from the house?
That I don't know. But definitely not like 10 feet. Definitely way more than that.
Further away was? Do you remember? Okay, put yourself back there as best you can. Do you remember seeing it? Like if it's far away, like a football field. Do you remember seeing it closer at the edge of the fence? Obviously,
Well, there
it was
was
close
a
enough.
fence.
Obviously, you remember it being close enough to see where eyes would be.
Yeah, it was way closer than a football field, but it was like, I don't know, maybe 30 feet.
Okay. Uh, was it glowing?
Looking at the length of my room right now, which I think is about 20 feet, and where I used to live was 20 feet long, so I'd say longer than that.
Okay.
30 feet probably.
Was it glowing? Was it just green? Was it
No, it's just green, not glowing.
just green? So did it like match? Did it like did it match the palette around it? Does that make sense? Like did it match the shadows and everything around it? Like it was actually green sitting in the dark, or did the green kind of stand out like it was ethereal in a way?
No, it didn't pop out.
Okay, so it was actually kind of just green.
Yeah, it sort of it didn't look like it was out of place.
Okay, all right. And this was this in Oregon?
Uh-huh. It's actually here in this town I live in now.
Oh wow.
Not in the town, but
Yeah,
a mile or two
in
out.
in the area, yeah. How long did you think you looked at it for?
Not too long, but not like a second. Maybe
you-
like I don't know, maybe 8 seconds.
Okay. And do you think it saw you?
I don't know. Ooh, that creeps me out.
Do you think it
I
did?
I have no idea. I mean,
You say it was looking towards the house, right?
yeah, I was looking towards the window. I mean,
Ooh.
it wasn't like looking at. I mean, I couldn't see like its pupils were not in my pupils. You know what I mean?
Oof.
Like,
Yeah. But
but
it's
it's
just
it's
your feeling.
its face, body, shoulders. That's what I remember. I really remember its like shoulders, head, face-ish kind of. And I remember, yeah, pointed at the window I was looking at.
You think if you were given a pencil and a piece of paper, you could draw it?
No. Well, I mean, I can't draw anything anyway, but
Well, if
if
you
I could,
take the best
uh,
shot you can at it.
kind of, it was just kind of a wide head,
Yeah.
definite like cheekbones, nose was kind of Michael Jackson-y.
Okay. Like gaunt, but still wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Um, like when people have like really strong like neck shoulders, they get that like cobra look.
Oh yeah.
It's like they have these fucking flaps that connect their ears to their shoulders.
Yeah.
Kind of like that thing going on.
Okay.
So it was kind of like looked kind of stiff in that way, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
Um, it wasn't like smooth at all looking. Didn't look
Okay.
like smooth skin or anything. It looked kind of bumpy and
Oh,
not bumpy like I couldn't see individual bumps like Braille, but you know what I mean? Just like
just like the lines on a body would be if it had musculature and all that.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe a little exaggerated though.
Yeah.
Like imagine somebody that was like muscular, veiny,
Yeah.
dirty, just a bunch of shit. You know?
Now, have you ever seen if anybody else ever saw anything like this around the area?
Nah, I
Why
don't really.
not?
I didn't really mention it to people often. I mentioned it to friends, and even then, it's not even bring it up like every day or anything.
Yeah.
Like I now that you mentioned, like, because I know I would have mentioned it to you because we talked about creepy stuff before.
Okay.
So like I feel like certain that I've told you about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that anyone who's my friend, I've told them about it at least once, at some point. And I'm this, but then I think about it, it's like, well, did I tell Mike about it when I was like 13 and I never mentioned it since? Like, would he know what I'm talking about if I
Yeah.
brought it up? Maybe he would. I don't know. But yeah, the point is like I haven't really talked about it much. I mean, what's to talk about? I have no fucking idea what I what happened, what I saw, what. But
Huh. The Green Man of Portland.
what's that? You looked it up at something?
I know you're not in Portland, but the Green Man of Portland, also known
About
as
60 miles.
yeah, well, that's the legend of the Green Man in Portland. I don't know if there's anything to do with this. Let's see here. Daniel, I don't know if this has anything to do with paranormal or whatnot. Let's just see here. Daniel Duford's The Green Man of Portland is a 2009 art installation consisting of 2 outdoor sculptures, story makers, whatever. They are installed along 10 blocks in Portland's Old Town. According to the artist, the work's imagery was inspired by the 1970s horror comics, works in progress. No, it's just like some art thing. There is a green man in mythology. Huh. The Legend of the Green Man. What is this here? Public Art Archive. No. Green Man sighting. 16. Okay. This comes from 2009. Was sitting here watching Sports Center and they cut to outside the stadium. Sure enough, there's a green man. Oregon's color standing with. Oh, it's just some mascot thing. Pennsylvania. No, that's not it. I don't know what the hell. Maybe you saw Bigfoot.
Could.
Maybe you saw yourself a Squatch.
Maybe.
Maybe. Interesting. I know you say Paula had the same thing in daytime with the blue thing. Really similar story, except she was older.
Hers was kind of more to tell in a way. Like, I remember she said that I think it was as if it were like walking by and it looked in the window and she saw it very clearly, very awake,
Oh,
very much more adult than I was. Probably
Yeah.
an adult. I don't remember if she was 17 or what, but an adult.
yeah.
And she was kind of, like, what the fuck is that? Like, what? And then, it just like walked past or like, not like a big. It didn't. The impression I got when she told me the story was that it wasn't a big window,
Okay.
and so, when it passed, after passing through, like the end of her vision where she couldn't see that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall, I think she said she went outside and looked, and there was nothing there, and
Oh,
that was that. And she said she never really told anyone. Maybe, because nobody would buy it, or maybe she told someone, but it was like a close friend, and they didn't make anything of it because just like, what could we make of it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she never even heard anything similar until I mentioned it on my own, and then she was kind of,
Weird, dude. Fucking weird,
yeah.
man. I've never seen any kind of green or blue guy like that.
And then you're like, but I did see a red guy.
Yeah, yeah, true. I guess. Yeah, I've never seen a green or blue guy. I see a guy disappear once, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, seen a guy disappear. I don't know. There's weird stuff out there, man. So what's this? What's the shed and the dog? What's this? I don't know.
All right.
I don't remember this either.
So this was with Mike and his brother Carlos.
Okay.
There may have been another person there, like a friend, a different guy who was kind of never like a tight, close friend. I don't remember. Not
Okay.
a couple people come to mind, David Olds or Richard Olds. Either one of them maybe, but I'm thinking it was just Mike, me, and Carlos.
Okay.
And their dog, which was named Ted.
Oh, that's a good dog named Ted.
Yeah. Like a half Dalmatian. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, that's it.
Half that and half, I think, I don't know, pit bull or something weird. So it's kind of a funny looking dog.
All right.
Medium size, medium big,
Okay.
white, black spots. Anyway, we were looking in this shed. I don't know if shed's the right word for it, but small. And there was one area that he was just focused on. And you couldn't get him to go to it.
The dog?
Yeah, and he was like,
Okay.
if I recall correctly, in fact, I should ask Mike about it. But I definitely just remember that we were freaked out, and he was freaked out by the spot. And he wouldn't step on it. He kind of, we were trying to make him go to it.
Okay.
Um,
Ugh.
and he just wasn't having it. Like anywhere else he'd go, but he was very not into that spot. So that's all there is to that.
It's creepy stuff, man.
We were creeped out
Yeah.
because what the fuck is going on? Is he, like,
Right, right.
it's a dog. Why isn't he doing it? Why is he
Yeah.
weirded out by the spot?
I remember getting creeped out of watching, I had a lot of animals. I had so many animals growing up. And every now and then, they would do something weird. Every time it's always weird. You have a dog perk up or something and look at a room. Or you'd have a cat stare at a part of the wall. Or just something weird, man. Every time you're like, man, what are they thinking of that I can't perceive, It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had an animal be that extreme though, where you couldn't drag it to a spot. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember him hopping over.
Wow. You think maybe it was like a coyote got in there and pissed or something right there?
Could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's something that would freak a dog out, then
Oh, yeah.
that's
I think
that's
so.
totally possible.
Yeah.
It's not like it couldn't have gotten in there.
Yeah.
And it's like the least populated place on Earth, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but it's and it's on the edge of the town even then.
Yeah. Or it was just a
Desert.
demon portal.
Yeah, probably.
Probably demon portal.
Most likely, right?
That's you jump in. If you were to sit down on that spot long enough, it'd take you to the Doom planet. Shoot demons.
Where all the VCR lights go.
Oh man, so good, so good. You have more creepy stories than I thought you would.
Yeah.
Especially for being such a this didn't fucking happen kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's the point of this. And then of course the one that I remember the best is you laying in the tent.
Oh God, yeah.
Man.
That was scary.
And then you hearing the tone. That's remember. You said it was just like a tone, like
Like a beeping.
or a beeping. Yeah, and it just. Hang on. Sorry about that. One second. Not to cut your. Not to cut your jive. Are we back?
was like, I don't know. And we were kind of a little
How old were you?
before 12,
Okay.
after 9.
All right. So 10, 11?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
All right.
It could have been the end of age 9 or the
Old
very
enough,
beginning of age 12.
old enough to see fit to let you be camping out in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
probably too old to be scared by the light. I
Uh,
mean, by the sound.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we had a lantern on in the tent.
Okay.
Not a fire lantern, it's a battery lantern.
Yeah.
We were playing some board game or something, and um, he mentions the sound. I think it was him who first noticed it. And I remember we kind of like listening to it, and in noticing that it's one thing to hear it,
Yeah.
like, who, what is that? And I don't know. Could be, whatever. But then when you do notice it, and you notice it getting closer, that
Ooh.
kind of inspired a lot of fear. So we turned the light off and just laid down, and the sound got closer and closer and closer
Oh.
till it's like outside the tent, and just scared, fucking speechless, dude. Like
Just you and him laying there silent.
absolute terror. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I couldn't see him, so I don't know what. But I remember that when it was all over, at least when it was gone, it basically left the way it came.
Oh.
Um,
Oh.
it was like it was like a weird thing of where you're absolutely 100% dead quiet,
Yeah.
and you know absolutely 100% for a fact that your friend is as awake as you are,
Sure.
not
Sure.
saying anything, and then like both wondering how long to wait before saying anything, and we were just like,
Oh. And you just
I remember the way I remember it was like fear beyond belief.
okay.
Like the way I remember it is like just imagine like silent tears and shaking type fear, like
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's a weird story for a lot of reasons because why is the beeping scary?
It's just that it's
Well,
getting closer. You know what's
well,
there. Yeah.
yeah, the fact that it's like it's getting closer, and the fact that it's outside the tent, and
Yeah.
then however long, and then it goes away. And I don't remember it clearly enough to remember like, I don't remember were there. I don't recall any kind of footstep sounds.
Just the beep.
That's what I remember. Yeah, I don't remember anything else. I don't remember if it kind of went around the tent anyway, or if it just came close to it from the direction it came from and then went back.
Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
When you first heard it, when you first realized you were hearing it, were you guys still awake and like doing board games and shit?
When we first recognized we were hearing it, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I remember we turned the light off.
let's do a timeline here. So, who first noticed it? Do you remember?
I think I don't really remember, but I think it was. I seem to recall it was him, but I don't really know who it was.
Okay, so you hear it. How much time passes until you realize that you guys need to change what you're doing? And
No, very little time.
very little. Okay, so it was getting close fast.
I just remember it wasn't like that scene in Jaws where you have a chat. It was like fucking. It was scary quickly,
Okay.
easily quickly. Like we shut the light off.
Okay, so hang on. So you hear this beep.
I remember being afraid that like I would hear the zipper.
Oh, sure. We're not
That
there
was
yet.
so
Hang on. It's going order. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're getting jumping. All right, so you guys hear the beep. You recognize that you both hear it. All right, let's call that ground zero, moment one. So, how much time, guessing, did you from that until you realized it was something odd? Like I know you realized it was odd right away, but you hear a beep, it's like whatever. But how much time passed until you realized that this is something to pay attention to?
Like very, very, very little time.
Okay,
like
now from that.
seconds.
Okay, so now from that feeling, how much time passed until you realized it's getting closer?
Well, okay. Let's say, for example, if it took 3 seconds to 5 seconds to be spooked.
Okay.
If it took something like that, then recognizing it closer probably took, about the same.
So you guys heard this.
Shutting the shit off.
Yeah,
was pretty like instantaneous on that.
So you guys heard this,
point.
and then you immediately shut everything down.
You're thinking, yeah. I mean, within 5,
Wow.
10 seconds.
Okay, so now here you guys are. You're laying there quiet, no lights. How long until the thing, the noise, got up to you?
Maybe like 20 seconds.
Oh wow, fast.
Not, and it wasn't like all at once. It was like, yeah, it's gradual. The beeping,
beeping kept getting
had,
a little closer.
had pauses between it.
Wow.
It wasn't perfectly steady like a metronome. I seem to recall that it was like a certain number, and then like a longer pause and a certain number. Like I guess the way you would think of Morse code being in phrases.
Okay.
But it was definitely consistent. It was so consistent that it was like digital almost in a way. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like it wasn't like sporadic. It wasn't different pitches. It wasn't melodic in any way, shape, or form. Didn't really sound. It definitely. I mean, it didn't sound organic.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
You imagine like when your alarm goes off on your watch.
Sure, like
or
a
something.
beep. Beep. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Just
like
like
that.
a little digital tone. Okay, so it gets up to your tent in about 25 seconds from the moment you guys notice it. Including the time that you guys shut down, laid down, got quiet. So we're talking 5 seconds to do that, 10 seconds to do that, 20 seconds laying there. It gets up to the tent, this noise. How long is this noise close to the tent for?
I don't know. See, because like at that point, it felt like years.
Sure.
Like, I really don't know. Like, for all I know, it could have been. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I'm trying to think extremely, like, I don't know. Like, it really felt like it could have been, it could have been 5 seconds or 20 minutes. My guess is probably a couple minutes.
Oh my god.
A long fucking couple minutes.
Sure,
like,
sure. And then it goes away. And you hear it
just
go away.
like not even like basically not breathing, like
Yeah,
laying down, it was unbelievable. I've never been that scared since. Like when I was on the 10 freeway spinning around doing cookies in the rain at one night.
Yeah. You weren't that scared.
It wasn't that scared.
Yeah.
It was like shock and stuff, but it wasn't fear.
Yeah.
Even though I could have died, it
wasn't the same kind. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm sure part of it's from being a kid. Maybe part of it's a kind of a group hysteria. There's only me and one other person, but the fact that we were both scared, maybe that somehow validated the fear, and I don't know.
Usually, that's kind of weird because usually you hear stories like this, and usually another person makes you fearless. I've noticed more than not. You're like, what the fuck? Of course, you're little kids, of course, but so you hear the thing come up to the tent. And then you hear it go away?
Mm-hmm. Basically the same way it came.
The same way it came.
Same direction, same speed.
Wow. You don't remember footsteps or any other noise, because it's probably because you're just so scared of that noise.
There would be a lot of like things to step on. There'd be a lot of crackling. It's like a rainy wooded type area.
Yeah.
is in Idaho.
That's another question: is was it raining or anything that night?
It was not raining, no.
Clear?
I don't remember how clear. It definitely wasn't raining.
Okay. All right. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I never realized that the thing happened that fast. The way I always perceived it, past times you told it to me, is that you guys were laying there for like a good amount of time, hearing it slowly get closer. I didn't realize that it shot up to you guys so quick.
20 seconds? I don't know. I mean, that's a total guess. 20, 25, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's a long time.
Oh, it's a very
Like,
long time.
I mean, I don't know if this is accurate at all, but if you were like 1,000, 2 1,000,
Yeah.
3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6
It is a
1,000,
long time,
7
but
1,000.
it's kind of not that long.
Like
for
we're not
s-
even halfway there, and
Yeah.
you're hearing it. That's plenty.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I'm sure being in that situation,
It
but
felt
for,
like a lot.
but for something to be kind of working its way through the woods, it's kind of not a long time. Especially if the immediate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it was. It's not like it was meandering.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
coming straight
Oh
towards
my
its head.
god. Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I don't know. When I think about it too, like, as I always thought about it afterwards, the biggest mystery to me, the biggest mystery more than like what was the sound,
Yeah.
was why was that sound scary? That's
Yeah.
the biggest mystery to me.
It
Because
doesn't belong.
a scary sound to me would be
Bigfoot
like
howling.
if consciously, if I were asked, uh, footsteps,
Footsteps, breathing, things like that.
breathing, grunting.
Yeah, yeah. But this is like
and-
this isn't that.
yeah,
This is a clean digital noise.
yeah.
It doesn't
yeah,
belong.
like- yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
That sound belongs there less than breathing or footsteps.
seems like the least scary sound, in a way, when you think about it.
Not when
I-
it's not when in context.
And I have no idea what it is. I mean, okay, like if you're being skeptical, what is it? It's it's a watch or something.
It's maybe an animal's tagged.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
there we go. Maybe, and it was coming to investigate, and
Yeah.
because we were so afraid, and we were like so quiet,
Yeah,
it's like it maybe that fact enabled it to come closer,
yeah,
or maybe that's why it arrived. It showed up,
yeah,
and it kind of hung out for a minute and then left.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes
yeah.
some sense, I guess.
I
I mean, I
guess.
don't have any idea those things beep, but
I don't know. I'm sure maybe
you gotta have
some-
batteries in them.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
somebody's.
they make a sound with battery guys.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. That's the only thing I could think of, other than a guy or something with a watch on.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy with a metal detector or something. I don't know. It makes no sense. Other than an animal with a tag, maybe a dog with a collar that's running out of juice or something. I don't know. That's what makes it so scary, is that you don't know.
Yeah.
Creepy. And if you were to take a guess, what level was it at? Was it at the ground? Was it above the ground? Because you heard it get
Oh.
pretty close.
Well, we were basically, we were laying on the ground, no mattress or anything. It was
Yeah.
just bags.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
Yeah.
high up the air it was.
You don't remember it being at
But-
like ear level?
No, it definitely was not like an inch above the ground.
It was above you.
Yeah,
Oof.
but I don't know how high.
Oh. That's a creepy story.
I'm really trying to imagine it, trying to remember. I remember where the house was.
Yeah.
And I remember the door of the tent faced the house.
And did the thing, what direction?
I think of myself as being on like, I thought of myself as being on the right side, my friend on the left side.
Okay,
It was on my side.
okay, hang on.
It was coming to me.
Okay, hang on. So let's think of the tent. So the door of the tent's facing the house.
Hmm?
When I'm looking at the door of the tent, you were laying on the right side. If I'm looking at the tent at the door,
Yeah, if you were looking in the tent,
you would
I
be
was
laying on the right. And
yeah,
was your head near the back of the tent or towards the door? Can you guys
unhealthy.
unhealthy connection? Whew. All right, guys. Sorry about that again. So okay, so you heard the thing come up from the direction of the house or the direction from behind the tent?
Behind, but not directly behind. Kind of actually off my direction.
Like if I were looking at the tent, it would be off to the right behind the tent.
Oh, well, I'll walk you through it like this.
Okay.
First of all, the house was not right next to the tent,
Yeah.
but it was close. And then there's a small hill.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's sharp in a way, but it's small.
Yeah.
A hill that goes up to this little flat area.
Okay. Okay.
And I used to shoot 22 and stuff on that little flat area, and that's where the tent was.
Okay.
So, and lots of wood, not like thick trees, but just lots of trees
Sure.
around.
Yeah.
And so okay, then you place the tent in your mind on this little flat patch, not a huge flat patch, it's kind of small.
Yeah.
And beyond the flat patch, there was just basically all on a hill with lots of trees.
Okay.
Not thick, like lush trees either, just trees, kind of thin poles almost.
Okay.
Anyways, so then if you were to get in the tent, you like go into the door, and you lay down on the right side, like that, and then imagine you'd lay down. It's very, very dark. And you're laying down and you're like laying on your belly and your head is facing the left side where your friend is.
Yeah.
The direction of the sound would be basically from the back of your head,
Sure. Sure.
like coming from that way.
I gotcha.
If mostly just in that direction, but a little bit back too.
So not coming from the house.
No.
Oof. Coming from the nowhere, the scary woods.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Man. No good. No good.
Yeah, I wonder, man, it would be good if he had a Facebook or something.
Yeah, sure he's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, after you heard it go away, did you guys just fall asleep in the tent, or did you go back in the house, or?
What I remember, and this part could be off, but I seem to recall that the idea was sort of just to like I remember thinking like very incoherently,
Okay.
just laying down, basically doing what I always do. It's fucking just lay down, fucking go to just stay that way. Eventually you fall asleep, hopefully, and
Yeah.
you wake up fucking the world is good, you know?
That's what happened, I guess.
I don't really remember.
Man, I don't know if I could sleep out there.
I don't think we had the guts to like leave.
Yeah, that walk back to the house would have been pretty intense.
And actually, surely I would have remembered
Yeah.
the flea, you know, or something. But
Yeah.
no, I think we just lied there, probably silent, both awake.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, I'm really curious to. I imagine if I talk to that dude now,
yeah.
it's funny to think of. He's like, I
Yeah.
think I did see him once when I revisited the town
Right.
several years ago, and You know, it's your like childhood friends are not at all like you remember them.
Sure.
But it'd be a weird conversation to have. Just want to know if he remembers it
Yeah, it might
and
be
have
worth
him
it.
describe it to me without me saying anything to see how it
Right.
lines up with what I remember.
Ooh, don't like that, man. Not a good one. It is a good one, but you know, it's creepy.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the most scared I've ever been.
Man. I don't have any camping stories that are creepy at all.
I imagine that's probably the last time I'll feel that kind of fear.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
mostly what life has to offer is like bad news.
Yeah.
You could maybe like the worst you could feel would be like your life somehow you lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's the the wonder kind of aspect of it. Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if something bad happens, it's gonna be
You mean,
you know
yeah, it's
some
just,
chick got pregnant.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
or fucking you've got you know cancer or something. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's the horror of of adult life.
Yeah.
It's not like terror without reason,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
Which is basically what it was. Just completely.
I think it's reason. You hear a thing that's not identified coming out of the woods at you. You know, it could have had a perfectly good reason, like we said. Like it could have been a dog with a collar or something, you know?
I can't imagine that if like heard the noise and I can't imagine like if it was outside tent and it just got up and I walked out of the tent going, what the fuck is the sound, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine that like what that fucking that's gonna be the end of my life or anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's exactly like that's I felt like for sure the end of your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I imagine that if as an adult heard the noise, I'd be like, what is that noise? And then I hear it getting closer and I go, that's weird, it's getting closer, you know, like check it out almost.
Yeah.
Sort of like I don't know. Maybe checking it out, like if it's an animal, would sort of like, oh, there's a light on over there and there's movement and the animal would like, you know, not be interested. You know, maybe the animal would be freaked out and it would split or whatever.
I'm reading here about a pet tracker. For fear that your pet will go missing, you can press a button on this handset to prompt and emit a beep.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Maybe that was it.
I mean, it's a digital sound, all right?
Yeah,
Let's be real.
yeah.
It's got to be man-made.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a digital sound,
Or alien made.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the beeping was to measure child terror.
Yeah, sonar sort of radar for child terror. And it sensed your signatures and it's coming for you. That's how it hunts.
Or it induces terror
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then extracts something, you know, from the
Yeah,
vibes.
some pheromone or something.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be. Could be. I don't know, man. That's a good story. I've never, like I said, I've never had a story like that happen to me. Like that. I've had creepy things happen to me.
Honestly, like, I think you've had examples that were like a million fucking times scarier.
I've had extreme examples. You know, I saw that
The guy who comes out from the house,
Oof,
that's number one scariest.
that was
That's
number
me.
one scary.
Scarier than some beeping. But when I hear my story, it's that story. It is like the least. If you said, okay, write down a scary story, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
my story would, I don't know, it'd be typical, you know.
Yeah, yours remains unknown, though. Mine, I saw a guy.
No.
You know, mine's explained somewhat. Mine has an explanation. Mine has a conclusion, at least. I saw a guy get out from under the house. You never figured out what that was.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the difference.
I think your theory is the best I've heard, though, the animal thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Somebody lost a dog and they had a collar on him. Somebody tagged something. Batteries running low. Something. Something like that.
Something else, when I was a kid, my fear of the beeping had nothing to do with the idea of something behind the beeping.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about, is the beeping an object in the hand of a man?
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't thinking that way. The beeping itself was all there was to
Sure.
me.
Sure.
It's like if you imagine just a floating
Yeah, just this beep.
orb that beeps, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That makes it way less scary. To me, it's scary to think of it in a guy's hand. Like I have no reason to be scared of just this orb that beeps. But
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. But
I don't know what it was. I mean, I don't know if it was an orb. I just made that up. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's to me basically it was. It was just,
yeah. In your mind,
to me, it was a beeping that had no cause. It had nothing.
right?
I wasn't thinking aliens. I wasn't thinking. It was just a fucking beeping. That's all.
Yeah.
And it was horrifying. So that's why it's such a lame ass story.
It's not a lame story. It's a good one. I do not remember the Green Men story at all, which is, I don't know if you've told me that.
Had to have.
I don't remember it.
Because I don't got a million, you know?
Yeah, you have a lot. You have more than some people. Green Men's really interesting.
Now I'm seeing shit on my peripheral.
Are you really?
Yeah, my window.
Oh, yeah?
One time here I had a nightmare.
Oh, jeez.
The nightmare was like somebody was like looking in the window, you know?
Was it a nightmare or was it reality?
Well, the nightmare was in a window. It was in a house that I wasn't actually in, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I really had to twist my neck around and shit to try to see, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I seem to remember, you know, kind of like there was very clearly someone there that was trying to break in or something,
Yeah.
very obviously. And I was trying to shout, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
but I couldn't. It's one of those dreams where you're trying to shout and you can't.
Yeah.
So eventually I did shout in real life, and it woke me up. And I realized it was a dream and everything. I was like, all right, cool. You know, I was actually, I seem to recall that my arm was kind of numb, and I don't know if it's because I was laying on it or just like what, but
Yeah.
panicked out. Anyway, it occurred to me later on. I had kind of an idea that, you know, sometimes something happens in the real world while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
and
and it
it'll
gets
influence
into your
dream.
sleep. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, maybe somebody was like,
Yeah,
trying to
absolutely.
look in or something. But then again, I doubt it. This town, maybe, I don't know.
You don't know.
But that kind of thing did happen in L.A. when I was in the van. So that kind of,
Oh, Jesus.
you know, like all it takes is a little bit of like actual experience to like forever make you paranoid.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the moments where I remember reality bleeding into dreams, it's like, one is when I used to have a radio alarm clock. I would hear the morning show in my sleep. I would hear them talking in my sleep, and their words would seep into people I would see in my dreams.
Oh, weird. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, yeah. Another one is I remember this one was really vivid. There's a Rolling Stones song called "Honky Tonk Man," "Honky Tonk Woman," something like that. And in the song, there's car horns beeping, like honk honk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know, it was high school or something like that. And the song was playing. It just came on the radio and it played. And I just remember the honk honk like shot me out of bed because in my dream there's a car about to hit me. And fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I realized it's the song. Another one. This happened recently. I remember telling Ash about this. It's no stranger that I'm a fan of Jurassic Park, right? This one's really weird. This one might blow your mind a little bit. So recently they put Jurassic Park on Netflix, and I was trying to go to sleep, and I can't go to sleep when there's silent darkness. I just can't. There needs to be a light on, TV on, something. There needs to be something on. There needs to be some sort of noise. But it needs to be something that I can't really pay attention to, like a show I've never seen. So I put on Jurassic Park because I don't need to see it again. I've seen it so many times. And that kind of plays into this. I don't need to pay attention to it. So I'm laying there, just dozing off to Jurassic Park. And in my dream, I'm watching the movie. Does that make sense? Like, in my dream, like the noises and the people and things aren't other things in my dreams that have these noises. Literally, in my head when I'm asleep, I'm watching the movie in my dream.
Like, are you watching yourself in third person
No,
watch a movie?
I'm just watching it. Like I'm in a movie theater, watching it on a screen.
It was a big screen?
Like it was all there was. It was the only image in my head was the movie. Like I was right on the TV or looking through viewfinders or something.
It's funny that you know that. I actually do think that you know the movie well enough. That you
Yeah,
can
exactly. I've seen it 1,000 times. Like not even hundreds. I've seen it 1,000 times. I wore out a few VHSs of it when I was a kid. I know it. So like I was watching, and it's funny because the louder parts are the parts I remembered most when I woke up because like the noise triggered the seeing it. So I remembered the car chase and the talking parts I didn't remember seeing so well in my sleep because it was too quiet for me to hear it across the room with the fan on. But like when it was louder, I remembered it. And I woke up and I was like, holy shit, that was fucking weird. I watched it in my sleep. And I
watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing in my sleep. And when I woke up, I was rested. It was asleep, but I just played it in my mind as I heard it in the actual room.
That's funny.
Yeah.
If only there was a way to like be entertained, like
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm gonna throw on Blade Runner or something, whatever.
It happened to me, man, and it was pretty unreal. When I woke up, I was like, "Whoa, dude, that was bizarre." And it wasn't like in my sleep. I remember laying on the couch watching it. It was literally that was the only. It was right because when you watch something when you're laying down, it's like sideways and whatever. In my head, it was right side up, and it was the only thing I was seeing. Like I was looking through, like a headset, pair of goggles or something, like Jurassic Park vision. It was fucking
JPV.
weird. Yeah, exactly, dude. It was weird. So yeah, and that was a weird one. That was a really weird one. Another one is when you have to piss in your sleep. The old trope is like if you piss in your dream, you piss in real life, right?
Yeah.
Every time I have to piss in my sleep, or I do piss in my dream, I shoot awake because I remember that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to piss in my bed. But yeah, and then I'm like, man, I gotta go. So you go up and go, and then that's that. But the feeling of having to piss ekes into my dreams when I have to go. So it's weird. It's weird how sleep is. But
You ever wake up and like? Usually it happens to me from a nightmare, but where you kind of see some shit when you wake up.
I've never had that, but I've had a lot of people tell me about that. That's something I've never had in my life.
I've had that extreme.
Like, what do you see?
Mostly spiders.
Oh my god.
Like, I think there was one time when I remember what I thought was a dude.
Oh.
But usually spiders for me.
Like, what are
Some
they?
Some people have the issue where it's always people. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that'd be really scary. But then again, when I wake up and it's spiders, it's not like less scary to me in the moment.
What are they crawling
The
on?
weird-
Are they crawling on the walls or?
Different things. Like the last one I remember was tons crawling on the walls.
Oh my god.
But usually it's like one dropping down on me,
Oh.
like right in front of me, like like webbing down towards me,
Oh.
and they're always unnaturally huge.
I've never had that.
Um,
Wow.
Weirdest part is
Oops.
when you know you're awake, because, or how to say this, it doesn't quite make sense. Like, you know it's not real.
Yeah.
It's like after it's happened enough to where what's going on. It's some kind of like, okay, my eyes are open, but my brain is still, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, my eyes are open for real. My brain is still asleep for real. And it's like, just like you'd be conscious in your dream, it's like you're looking around the world, like your room or whatever. But
I don't know that I've ever had that.
it's like hallucinating, basically.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it's exactly like that. But when you're asleep and you're dreaming, you don't call your dreams hallucinations, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it is, if you, or isn't it? I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
if you're actually seeing it in your dream, and you open your eyes, and somehow you can still tie that, like, you can still put fake images into your brain, and marry that with some objects that your eyes are putting into your brain too. It's just like that. It's just,
I don't know that I've ever had that. Wow. I've definitely never woken up and been in a weird between state and thought I've seen a guy or spiders or anything like that. I've heard a lot of people say that, though. I hear that's where night terrors come from, is that weird state. Makes sense.
what is a night terror exactly?
Night terror is
Is
just...
that exactly what I described?
Yeah, it's kind of what you described, except there's a more violent reaction to it, from what I gather. Like, you can't really discern that you're not actually in that situation where there's a creepy thing there or something that doesn't belong, and you react to it and you start screaming or whatever.
Oh, I could see that happening easy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, because I think I did actually the first time, but like, it was like, it happened really quick. It was really weird. Like, I remember one. Okay, well, like one I remember really vividly was when I was sleeping in the van,
Yeah.
and I woke up and I saw this just huge spider descend down on me, and I mean, it takes more than a second. It takes seconds,
Yeah.
and it's happening, and you're like trying to get out of the way.
Sure.
I remember I was like kind of not sitting up, but kind of more up ish,
Yeah.
and like back up and back towards the hatch, whatever,
Yeah.
and like fucking full on, like, you wave your arms around and shit. But yeah, it's like
I'm glad I've never had that.
the last time it happened. The thing is, like, it kind of happened enough to where, like, when I told you about where I used to have the nightmare that I would hear a couple knocks on the door.
Oh yeah.
And it would freak me out because I thought it was the landlord trying to, going to kick me out or something.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not supposed to know that I'm sleeping in these rehearsal spaces. So
Yeah, yeah.
I would hear the knock knock, and then fucking just shoot awake and try to look awake, and then I go open the door and there'd be no one there. you know?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, that happened enough to where I realized that if it was two knocks, it was a dream. That's just how I knew.
Yeah.
So I'd still wake up because I'd hear it,
Yeah.
and I'd wake up, and then it was two, and I just go back to sleep, just
Oof.
carefree, like basically carefree. But anyway, being able to recognize when it was the dream, like figuring out the secret to know when it's real or not,
Yeah.
that was huge relief for me. And so that's basically where it came to with the spiders. Like, the last one I remember was the longest one. It was the one where there was a lot of them on
Okay.
the walls. I could see the walls, like, like movement,
Yeah. Yeah.
shifting. And I remember, like, opening my eyes, closing them, opening them, like, trying to, like, because it wasn't quite like, it was not like I had clear, pristine vision,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had typical, like, you just woke up shitty vision. And I was trying to fix my vision so I could see more clearly. And at the same time, I was waiting for what I was seeing to not be there any moment.
Right.
It's like, I was thinking, okay, well, that's happening again. Like, clearly there's not, come on, clearly there's not like just 1,000 spiders on the wall.
Right. Right.
And yeah, and it just like lasted a long time. I remember sort of like waiting for it to like wear off
Whoa,
for a while.
man. I've never had anything like that. I guess the closest I've had, you get the feeling occasionally when you're kind of not quite asleep and you feel like you're falling and you shoot awake.
Oh yeah.
I get that when my feet knock into something and I trip in my sleep. Like if
Oh.
because I'm tall, my feet hang over the bed. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And there's wires on one end of my bed that go up to my electric drum set, and they just kind of dangle there. Every now and then I knock into them in my sleep, and in my dream, I guess I don't know if it's even a dream. It's just when I hit them with my feet, it just gives me the quick vision of dreaming. Of not dreaming. It just gives me the quick perception of tripping and falling when my feet hit them, and then I shoot awake. It's basically the same as when you have that falling awake thing, but it's just I'm tripping awake because my feet are knocking into those.
I remember one time I had a dream where I went off a ramp on a motorcycle, like in a race or something,
Yeah.
and losing the bike somehow from under me while kind of basically ended up falling towards the earth.
Yeah.
And right, the impact just like basically like jumping in bed,
Yeah.
sort of like
That's a weird feeling, dude.
yeah.
That's a really weird feeling. And that happens fairly often to me. Especially probably because my feet dangle. But even before I like slept in this situation, it happened every now and then. I just get the feeling of falling. What a weird feeling. But no, I've never woken up to see shapes that didn't belong or anything like that. If I did, I don't know how people could cope. Like, I'd be afraid to go to sleep. I guess that's where insomnia and things like that come from.
Well, the thing is like I gotta imagine that it happens worse to other people.
Oh, I'm
more
sure,
frequent.
yeah. Yeah.
So to me, there's no way you can predict it. It's so uncommon. I would say, I don't know, maybe once a year,
Yeah.
maybe once every like 15 months or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but and I have no idea what triggers it. I think nothing does really.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's so infrequent. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it, could happen tomorrow or never again.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be surprised if it happened never again, just because it's happened enough times, to where it seems like it's a thing that happens. But,
Right.
Like, basically, when you realize it's not real,
Yeah.
then next time, and in a flash of an instant, like you wake up, oh shit, oh yeah, of course,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't just get calm though, because you actually are seeing it. So it's not like your awareness of it's just the thing happening again.
Yeah.
It's not enough to like completely, like forget about it, but it's basically where you struggle for like flashes of seconds.
Yeah.
Instance fractions of seconds. You basically struggle to go, oh, it must be the thing happening. Is it really though? But I don't know, the last time I remember being really like, last time it wasn't like dropping down on me either, so maybe that helped. Not, helped
Sure.
not freak me out.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just like if it happened to you
Ugh.
the first time, it'd be like the dude thing is way worse.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. I couldn't imagine waking up and seeing somebody.
There's certain features you can look for sure to know whether or not it's for real. Like the time it happened to me, for example, with the dude.
Yeah.
It's not like a face.
Yeah.
Like if you put him out in a lineup,
Yeah, that makes it better.
Huh?
I was saying, like, yeah, that makes it less creepy. He's a faceless.
Yeah, isn't no face.
Ah,
But it's not like a human without a face either. It's I mean, then again, maybe other people have it more extreme because this is the only one time I ever had a dude.
oh,
But it's just like it's so vague, dude. Is what I'm getting at. It's
yeah.
basically what happens is like if you're at all prone to having this happen, it doesn't have to happen that many times
For you to realize
before
it's your mind.
before it happens the next time. When it happens, you're going, oh, this must be the thing happening.
Okay, okay.
It's just you know what I'm saying?
The fact that you call it the thing makes it creepy.
Yeah, the visitor.
Oh, Jesus Christ. uh, yeah. Well, I'm glad that's never happened to me. Or if it has, I don't
Well,
remember.
you know, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, because we're talking about it. I actually don't know anybody in my family that's ever talked about anything like that. I know my dad used to talk, I think it was Navajo. It was either Navajo or Hopi in his sleep, which was very bizarre. And, like fluid. And he didn't, he kind of knew how to speak it a little bit, I guess, because he would deal with the natives on the rights for the coal and water slurries and all that. But, you know, not anything like when we would hear him talking. It was so weird, man. I remember it happening once when it was my stepmom. My mom would tell me about it, but the first time I ever got to really witness it was my stepmother came in. My dad was asleep in the day because he worked nights or something like that at that time. And she says, "Max, come here." I said, "What's up?" And we go in there. And she says, "Just listen." And my dad's just talking in his sleep, and it's this language, and it was fucking weird, man. And he's just talking and talking and talking and talking, and he's asleep. And we say, "Hey," you know, when he woke up, we say, "Hey, do you remember talking in your sleep?" And he says, "No." And then we said, "Do you know that you he said, "Well, people tell me that I've done that," but it was just so weird. It was like he was having a conversation. And my mom, I remember my mom was writing stuff down once. This was years ago. This might have been before I was born or I was very young or something. But I remember my mom telling me about this too. Is that one time he did it and she was writing things down that he was saying. And they were like either Hopi or Navajo words. It was so weird, man.
Weird.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I don't know. It's probably diet. Diet.
Probably.
Active mind. REM failure or something. I don't know.
It seems like it's a lot easier to have bad dreams too. All you got to do is worry about something genuinely.
You know, that's another thing. I never have bad dreams. Like I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I've had two nightmares when I was little. One was, I remember waking up, walking, and it was as real as ever. I remember waking up, walking into my hallway of the first house I ever lived in, and walking in, looking right into the kitchen, and like a hellhound came out of the stove. With red eyes, a big black dog, taller than the counters, coming after the stove, chasing me down the hallway. And that faded quickly. I didn't have that dream ever again. Probably because my mom told me don't fuck with the stove, so I probably manifested it into a dream. And the other one was one I've talked about before several times. I was a little older here, and it happened. I dreamt this a few more times than the other. I would wake up, look out my window, and again, this is the first house I lived in, and I would see all these little ghoulish goblin things walking around other people's yards, just investigating.
Oh man, that's creepy.
And they looked like what's that thing in Harry Potter with the big eyes? And the golem kind of thing? Ash would know. Ash, what is that? What is that thing? It's like a goblin, ghoulish thing in Harry Potter. Kind of has the really big eyes, really big creepy eyes. A house elf? It has a name though. Like it has a particular name. It's like 4 or 5 feet tall. Is that it?
These things were smaller than that, though, or
they were about that size, I would guess, because
4 feet tall.
Yeah, I would guess. You know, I don't know. It's the dream, But Dobby, yes, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Gamer Expert, Dobby. So they look like that if you want to Google that. Kind of look like that. They look more reptilian than that slightly, but that's the basic idea of what they look like. So I'd be looking at all these things, and they'd be like climbing up on boxes and looking at people's houses, and then I don't really remember a feeling of fear until one came up right from underneath the windowsill, right in front of me, and looked into my window at me, and then I woke up. And that was probably the only extreme nightmare that I ever had. I've never had another dream that was really bad or anything like that. I've had dreams where it's been like, oh, I'm running. I'm running to catch somebody, but it's not scary. Usually I'm the pursuer, not the pursuee. So, and I can't run fast enough in the dreams, which, whatever. Molasses running is a common thing in dreams. But as far as like terror and fear, not for me in my dreams. No, hardly ever. I'm just sort of. Oh God, Ash! Ash sent me a link of the fucking thing, and it is terrifying, man. This is pretty much it, dude. Like, this is what came up right in front of me from underneath the windowsill. Is this image right here?
But way before it.
Yeah,
right?
way before, and no smile, just a blank stare on its face. Yeah, like way before. I've never seen Harry Potter. I just know the thing's name because of Sabrina. But oof. No, never had a nightmare besides those. And that was years ago. Talking 10, 8 years, whatever.
I can't remember the last time I had a good, happy dream.
I don't know that I've ever had a happy dream. I've just had a dream. I can't remember any dream where I felt joy. Just a dream. Just, oh, that was weird or different or something. But no feeling of good. Anyway. That's all I've got. I hear you yawning. You about ready to tie it up?
I really should.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been the Lee and Max time zone. I have almost zero
Max
dreams.
to the mic.
Yeah.
Glass. Something.
All right, guys.
Mike and Lee cast. Mike to the Lee Mac glass. What?
It's Mike to the Mac. Mike and Max cast.
Mike. Say the same thing, but with Lee instead of Mike. Lee and Max cast.
The Lee and Max cast lead to the Max Blast with Lee and Max.
All right. Sounds better.
Yeah.
Makes sense too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, I'm doing this on Thursday morning, so keep an eye out for that. And see you next time.